erectile problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Welcome, everyone. We've got a lot to talk about today. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. This has just been a humongous week for news. If you're new, make sure you... Yes. Oh, man, it's Friday. Welcome to the program. Oh, man. Friday, April 8th, 2022. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio, the Steve Kane Show this year. And, man, do we have a lot to get into today. You know, one of the greatest poisons on American society is the cable news. I mean, does anyone disagree with that? I mean, the cable news and Twitter, right? Social media, but mainly Twitter. Twitter and cable news together are a poison on our society, which causes so much in this country to go in very negative ways. Don't worry, we'll talk about Ketanji coming up too. Huge story on Disney this morning we're going to get into as well. But I want to start off with this business with Brian Stelter. CNN is the worst of the worst. They are today what the New York Times and the Washington Post used to be 50 years ago. They are the liberal mainstream media source of record. And they're completely corrupt. CNN stands for Cable News Network. They are not news. The center letter, the cable network maybe, they need to drop off that middle news word, that middle N. They're not news. They are in the business, as I told Steve yesterday. The cable news network CNN is not in the business of reporting news, breaking news, or covering news. CNN is in the business of covering up news and promoting Democrats. Now, they've always been this way. When Bill Clinton was president, we called them the Clinton News Network. During the Elian Gonzalez issue here in Florida, we called them the Castro News Network. They've always been left-wing. But over the years, it's been really weaponized. It's 100% Democrat state-controlled news. And they are the news source of record for the mainstream corporate media. I know they're not the source of record for you or for me, but I'm talking about the way that things operate in the news business at the corporate level. And Brian Stelter was at a panel with David Axelrod from the Obama administration and a liberal lady from the Atlantic, and it was at the it was in Chicago, and they were talking to students and took questions and answers from students. And a college freshman stood up, completely humiliated Brian Stelter, and then Brian Stelter did something at the end that I don't think many have picked up on, that have talked about this or seen this story. But a college freshman exposed and humiliated CNN's Brian Stelter, who was one of the big villains in the news industry. Really is. You know, and he's arrogant, he's nasty. I don't even know who he is or where he came from. Just all of a sudden, one day, I turn on the news and I see Brian Stelter, whoever this guy is. My wife calls him George Costanza. That's George from Seinfeld. She thinks he looks like George Costanza from Seinfeld. I think so. Yeah, no doubt about it. Sorry, Jason Alexander. But yeah. And all of a sudden, just one day, I turn on CNN, and there's this Brian Stelter, George Costanza guy passing judgment on everyone in media. What stories has he ever broken? What has he ever reported? Is he a journalist? I don't know. But anyway, listen to this. Keep in mind, this is a college freshman. I'm going to play the audio right now. This is a college freshman, just called on at random, from this audience in Chicago of students and just fillets CNN's Brian Stelter. Listen.
Hi, thank you for coming. My name is Christopher Phillips. I'm a first year at the college. My question is for Mr. Stelter. You've all spoken extensively about Fox News being a purveyor of disinformation, but CNN is right up there with them. They pushed the Russian collusion hoax, they pushed the Jussie Smollett hoax, they smeared Justice Kavanaugh as a rapist, and they also smeared Nick Sandmann as a white supremacist. And yes, they dismissed the Hunter Biden laptop affair as pure Russian disinformation. With mainstream corporate journalists becoming little more than apologists and cheerleaders for the regime, is it time to finally declare that the canon of journalistic ethics is dead or no longer operative? All the mistakes of the mainstream media, and CNN in particular, seem to magically all go in one direction. Are we expected to believe that this is all just some sort of random coincidence, or is there something else behind it?
Okay, now before we get to Brian Stelter's pathetic response, this is a college freshman, and it's absolutely amazing. And he had a whole laundry list, not even a complete list, but he had a very good list of just fake news, false reporting, and slanders brought out by CNN. And I'll tell you what they did to Nick Sandmann. He was the high school kid that was accused by a guy who was not a Native American, not an Indian, fake Native American, right? And they were calling him a rape. Remember all that? Oh my goodness. And between, that was a great list. So listen to Brian Stelter's response to this. Let me rewind it just a little bit, but this is great.
With mainstream corporate journalists becoming little more than apologists and cheerleaders for the regime, is it time to finally declare that the canon of journalistic ethics is dead or no longer operative? All the mistakes of the mainstream media, and CNN in particular, seem to magically all go in one direction. Are we expected to believe that this is all just some sort of random coincidence, or is there something else behind it?
It's too bad. It's time for lunch.
You have 30 seconds.
No, I mean, there's a clock that says 30 seconds. But I think my honest answer to you, and I'll come over.
Now, first off, my honest answer. Notice Brian Stelter, right? He's claiming he only has 30 seconds. There's a clock. You're not on the air. If you go 35 seconds or a minute and 30 seconds or 30 minutes, no one's going to rip you off for a commercial, Stelter. Okay? He's already trying to get out of it. And then when he says, I'm going to give you an honest answer. When someone says something like that, sometimes you'll hear people say, well, to tell you the truth, that is when they are going to start lying to you. You don't hear me say, when I'm talking to you, I don't say, if somebody calls in and asks me a question, I'll say, I'm going to give you an honest answer. I'm always giving you an honest answer. If someone puts that disclaimer of an honest answer, or I'm going to tell you the truth, or all that means they're about to lie to you. Just a little tell.
Else behind it.
It's too bad. It's time for lunch.
You have 30 seconds.
No, I mean, there's a clock that says 30 seconds. But I think my honest answer to you, and I'll come over and talk in more detail after this, is that I think you're describing a different channel than the...
Okay, now this thing here where he, and I won't interrupt it anymore after this. When he says afterwards he's going to come and talk to him, what do you think that's about? What do you think that's about? Do you think Brian Stelter really wants to have a private conversation with this college freshman guy who just humiliated him on a stage in front of I don't know how many people here in Chicago with David Axelrod there? Sounds to me like he wants to get his information so he can put him on the list. That's what it sounds like to me. Call up Twitter, try to get him banned from the Twitter or something, which Brian Stelter, I have heard, has done to people.
Something else behind it.
It's too bad. It's time for lunch.
You have 30 seconds.
No, I mean, there's a clock that says 30 seconds. But I think my honest answer to you, and I'll come over and talk in more detail after this, is that I think you're describing a different channel than the one that I watch. But I understand that is a popular right-wing narrative about CNN. I think it's important, when we talk about shared reality and democracy, all these networks, all these news outlets have to defend democracy. And when they screw up, admit it. But when Benjamin Hall, the Fox correspondent, was wounded in Ukraine, the news crews at CNN and the New York Times stopped what they were doing, and they tried to help. They tried to help him get out of the country. They tried to find the dead crew members. That's what news outlets do. That's how they actually do work together, to your question about sharing those kinds of connections and trust. We don't talk about it enough, though. We don't share that reality about how that happens. And with regards to the regime, I think you mean the President Biden. The last time I spoke with a Biden aide, we yelled at each other. A situation that simply is not. But I think your question, it speaks to the failure of journalism to show our work and show the reality of how our profession operates. We have a lot of work to do, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So, isn't that something? He didn't address anything that the kid brought up. Now, the reason I play this is not just to enjoy the humiliation on a stage of Brian Stelter. And this video is going viral all over the internet. That's part of the reason. I mean, we all enjoy. Nobody likes Brian Stelter. If you do, call me. I'd like to hear that. The reason I share this, though, is not because it's Brian Stelter being humiliated. Really, it's not. That's just a benefit of it. This is a college freshman who is woke. They think woke means liberal. Woke means liberal in the mainstream, but I don't think so. Woke is when you wake up, you get red-pilled, and you're no longer in the matrix. MAGA, we are the ones that are truly woke. Some like to say awake. And I don't mean woke in a liberal sense. This college freshman, 18, 19 years old, has an understanding of the world around him and the manipulation going on by media, and I don't mean just cable news, all media, and they see beyond it. President Trump did a lot of amazing things when he came down the escalator. One of those things that he did was make republicanism, conservatism, which is MAGA now, cool. Yesterday I was over at Friendly Tire in Margate, which, by the way, Friendly Mike in Margate is looking to hire someone. If you or someone you know has experience with tire installation, give him a call. He's looking to hire. And there were some young customers. They were like, I don't know, between 18 and 22. Couldn't tell exactly how old they were. Two young guys. They were getting tires on their car. And I don't know them, And I had a MAGA shirt on yesterday. I had a Trump shirt, Trump 2024, Make America Great Again I was wearing yesterday. And I went in there, and when I walked in, they saw my shirt, and I saw them look at the shirt. And then I went in, and I talked to Friendly Mike for a little bit. And then when I left, those guys were still there. They didn't say anything to me, but I heard them talking, And they were talking about how much they like Trump. One of them said, Joe Biden hasn't done S for anybody. And they were talking about the price of things. Between 19 and 22 years old. Right? Isn't that something? Yeah, a long time ago, like when I was a kid growing up, conservatives were like, they would be like your grandfather, you would think. There were not a lot of young conservatives. And if you saw them, they were like geeky guys. Trump has woken up this entire Generation Z, right? The millennials are like Mayor Pizza millennial. They're like pushing 40 millennials. Generation Z are people that are like 18 and under the millennials down to like 18 or something like that. And young people today, because of Trump, are completely awake. They see the world. They're pissed off. They understand the manipulation. A lot of this does have to do, though, with the internet. Because of the internet, and other things too, but the internet, we have the most informed population that we've ever had in this country. When you're young, you don't normally follow news. Who's going to watch the news? That's all stuffy. But now, because of social media, people are exposed to news and information that they normally weren't because they didn't watch the news at 6:30 at night on the network. But now they're exposed to news all the time on Twitter or whatever social media platform they're on. And this is absolutely an amazing thing that's going on. Liberalism is done. They've lost the young vote. President Trump chipped away at a lot of minority groups, Hispanics, blacks, but people don't talk about the young. The younger voting age, it used to be a given that they were Democrat. Not anymore. Not anymore. And that college freshman wiped the floor with Brian Stelter, and I loved every second of it. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. It is Friday, April 8th, 2022, and Friday means it is open phones. It is open phones on Friday, so anything and everything you have on your mind that is relevant to the news that we're dealing with these past couple of weeks is welcome on the phone. Not necessarily an issue or a story I bring up. If you have something on your mind that you believe is relevant to the news cycle of the last week or two, feel free to call and bring it up. Our number, toll free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. I was mentioning Friendly Tire, where I was at yesterday. You know, I have been a customer at Friendly Tire for well over 10 years, and they have new and used tires in stock at prices you will not find anywhere. New tires out the door and on the road as low as $70 a tire for brand new tires. And when I say out the door and on the road, what I mean by that is there are no added charges. When you call Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire, he'll give you a quote right over the phone. That quote is out the door and on the road because he doesn't charge you to mount the tire, to balance the tire, or even to dispose of your old tires. There's no added charges. The price he gives you over the phone is the price of that tire, as low as $70 for brand new tires. Isn't that something? Yeah, I know, it's absolutely amazing. He has thousands of used tires in stock too, starting just $30 for most sizes. And you can ask him about those on the phone too, and those prices out the door and on the road as well. It's absolutely amazing. And I discovered Friendly Tire, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago. I had a Jeep Wrangler. I always wanted one until the first time I tried to put the top back on. Do not buy a Jeep Wrangler. It is a nuisance. You'll hate yourself. The top is a pain in the butt to get back up. But it had the big old tires on it. Oh, that was great till I needed tires. And I found Friendly Tire because the tires were just so expensive on that four-wheel drive Jeep Wrangler. And boom, these prices are out of this world low. As low as $70 for brand new tires out the door and on the road. Give them a call, 954-977-9445, 954-977-9445. And with all Steve Kane sponsors, remember, if you miss the contact information from one of our sponsors, it is listed at stevekaneshow.com on our sponsor page. All right. Well, the first segment is down. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow, by over 20 retailers, has lost over $65 million in revenue this year already. Boycotts are being pushed by the left. Stand with Mike Lindell. Support
K-Dogzilla, $2 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank K-Dogzilla.
Visit mypillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout for incredible savings. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. Support Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Don't let the tech giants, don't let the left, and don't let the media cancel Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable.
The red cup
There is help.
is in the dishwasher at home.
Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
Denture wearers, are messy adhesives ruining the taste of your food? Is it painful for you to eat? Does the constant denture movement affect your speech? Are you always worried that your dentures will fall out while you're talking or laughing? Do you have sore spots? You are not alone.
Well, welcome, Eric, in Germany.
That can be solved simply with dental implants. This is Steve Kane, and I want to introduce
I actually did. I took a nap for about 2 hours yesterday.
Brighton Dental Care doesn't want cost to stop you from being able to eat
Around 11
foods you
o'clock.
love again and live in comfort. That's why for Steve Kane
I was
listeners, they're offering
had a rough
implants
morning yesterday. I was so
for
tired after the
just
show.
$3,500. That includes 2 implants plus a lower denture. Now, if you go to a dentist in Boca or in Aventura, they're going to charge you $6,000 for the exact same implants and denture. That's right, $6,000.
Well, that's true, Jeff.
But at Brighton Dental Care, just $3,500, and that includes the 2 2 implants plus your lower denture. Laugh and live with confidence. Call Brighton Dental Care at 954-922-4633, 954-922-4633, and online at brightondentalcare.com. Be sure to ask about special discounts for our military veterans.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, we're back. 24 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Okay, more video has leaked out from the Disney Zoom meetings. Disney has gotten... they've lost their minds. They've lost their minds. I have a couple pieces of audio. Let me play this one first. This is crazy. Employee health insurance coverage. Disney... Well, let me play the clip. It speaks for itself. But this clip, these are things they had this online Zoom corporate meeting with Disney executives. One is their president in charge of entertainment. One is Bob Chapek, the CEO, and this is another executive. I don't know who he is. But this is talking about a new benefit of coverage that the employee health insurance plan at Disney will cover gender transitions. Listen.
That. The other big area is gender identity and expression. So doing all of this work to ensure that our employees and cast can express their gender here authentically and proudly at the company. So,
Okay, now I just want to stop at this. Walt Disney was a Republican. He was a conservative, anti-union Republican. And do you know, just to give you an idea, I want you to think about this now. When Disneyland in Anaheim, California opened up in the 50s, okay, and you can find this on YouTube. When Walt Disney had opening day of Disneyland in the 50s in Anaheim, California, he hired someone to MC and host on television live the opening of Disneyland. Do you know who he hired? Who do you think? Think about this now. Who did he hire? This really tells you a lot about Walt Disney. He hired a gentleman to host the opening festivities on television for Disneyland in Anaheim, California in the 50s. You know who he hired? Ronald Reagan. That's right, Ronald Reagan. You can find this on YouTube. And, he was an anti-union conservative guy who was working with Ronald Reagan in the 50s. And Disney World here in Florida, Disneyland in California, in particular Disney World here in Florida, I know, isn't that amazing, Ronald Reagan? It's supposed to be like Westworld, okay? Westworld. And what I mean by that is Disney World, remember Disneyland in California, Disney World here in Florida. Disney, when you go to the Disney World Magic Kingdom, they own a size of land that is the size of Manhattan. Right? It's their own city. We were talking about this last week. When you park in the parking lot of Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom in Orlando, believe me, I know because I've timed it. From the time that you set foot out of your car into the parking lot until you enter Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom, it takes a minimum of 25 minutes. Usually on average, if I'm by myself, 25 minutes. That's a half an hour to get from your car to Main Street, USA. The reason it takes that long, you gotta take transportation, you take a boat, you take a monorail, you gotta get there. And what it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be like Westworld. It's supposed to be a place, a magical place, where you were cut off from the world, and you were in Walt Disney World's vision of the world, Main Street, USA. That Main Street, USA is based on the Main Street, turn of the century, 1900 turn of the century, not 2000, based on the 1900 era of the main street of Walt Disney's hometown where he was born and raised. Okay? And you were supposed to escape all the troubles of the world, all the politics of the world. Remember, Walt Disney World opened up during the height of the Vietnam War and Watergate era, October 1971. And you're transported into this world where it's a magical place. The politics of the outside are not there. Your worries are wrong. And it's all about you. Well, now they've changed that. They've taken conservative Walt Disney's World and they've turned it into, I don't know, a freak show. I mean, this is like an alternative universe world. It's not the world of Walt Disney, where you, as the person that's paying boatloads of money to be there, it's not important what you are there for. It's more important what the employees want. It's now their world. This is a magical world where people can get jobs and have some hedonistic lifestyle thing going on that they impose upon the very high-paying guests that come and enter Walt Disney's World. It's about the employees now, no longer the vacationer guest. It's no longer Westworld. Well, I guess it's like the new. It's like Westworld after the robots get crazy, right? When things go bad, it's kind of like in that world. That's what's happened here. So now the health insurance plan at Walt Disney's World will cover transition procedures. Listen.
That. The other big area is gender identity and expression. So doing all of this work to ensure that our employees and cast can express their gender here authentically and proudly at the company. So, coming up with guides on how to change your photo, information about pronouns, working with our benefits team to give information about gender affirmation procedures.
Okay, now this is a new change. Gender affirmation procedures. Is that a sex change operation? So now they're going to pay for sex change operations.
With our benefits team to give information about gender affirmation procedures, both for our employees who are transitioning and trans, but also our employees who have kids who are transitioning.
Yeah, okay, so now not only will employees be able to get their transition medical coverage covered, sex change operations and the whatever else they do, the health benefits plan at Disney will now include the gender transition treatment for children of employees. Because it's all about the employees, isn't it? Not about the high-paying customers. I mean, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but the customer is always right, is always in my brain. Even the way that I handle the radio show or my podcast or my YouTube channel. We have a customer and our customer are you, the listeners to this program on the radio, online, those who watch us on YouTube, and all the different online platforms. You are our customers. And we give you what you want. Now, fortunately for you and for us, we're of a like mind and want the same thing, right? MAGA, Trump, all that stuff. But there are things that Steve and I are interested in that we don't talk to you about. Biggest ones for me, Star Trek. Oh man. There's a new version of Star Trek the Motion Picture that was just released with completely remastered in 4K high definition for Blu-ray, where they redid all the special effects. I watched that movie the other night, Star Trek the Motion Picture from 1979, and it is fascinating what they've done, and they've done a lot of things. But I'm not presenting that to you. I could talk about this new version of Star Trek the Motion Picture for an hour or two. But our consumer doesn't want to hear that. And it would be fascinating to me and to a couple of the trekkers out there in the audience. But to the vast majority of the customers to this program, you'd be like, what the hell have you lost your mind? Right? So I don't talk about that. Right? Disney They don't care what the customer wants. The customer is wrong. It's much like the media, right? Rush used to talk about this. The mainstream liberal media, we were talking about CNN and Brian Stelter in the first segment. Liberal media, liberal cable news has been losing to Fox News for a long time now. Now Fox News is becoming what they are, but Fox News became number one because, now I'm not talking about the current version of Fox News. I'm talking about the Roger Ailes era, the Bill O'Reilly era, the Hannity and Combs era, not what they have now. But Fox News was presenting something that was different. Conservative, fair and balanced news coverage. They used to do that. And that's what made them number one. But CNN never changed what they were doing. They were number one because there was no one else around. And then when they were number two by far to Fox News, they never changed what they were doing. And Rush used to talk about this. See, liberals believe they know what's best. And if you won't watch them because of what they're presenting, well, screw you. You just don't get it. They're going to continue to do what they're doing. Disney is the same thing. It costs more for a family to travel to Disney World from out of state than it does to go to Europe on a European vacation. That's a fact. But they don't care. See, they don't care. If you don't like what they're doing, you just don't get it. You're not woke. You're not woke. So, they're going to do what it is they do, regardless of what their high-paying customers want. Because they know what's best. See, they're a liberal. It's the liberal arrogance. I'm going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. I want to hear your thoughts on this. I've got two more pieces of audio that were leaked out of this meeting of Disney executives that you have not heard before that you're going to hear after this break. My name's Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, 38 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. All right, so this audio that you're hearing, that clip about Disney paying for transition procedures for employees and their children. I didn't know they did such things on children, but they do. That leaked out of this Zoom meeting. I've got two more pieces. The first one I'm going to play for you. We heard from this lady last week. She's the president of Disney Entertainment. She's the one who, remember, she has two kids. One is transgender, and the other one is a sexuality that I can't remember the name of, that's attracted to all creatures, all humans, regardless of gender. And she spoke first and really revealed what is driving this. What is Disney, a conservative, Republican, anti-union company formed by the great conservative Republican Walt Disney? It's a really amazing story. I have a biography of Walt Disney at home that it's a bug killer of a book. The book is so thick. A book is a bug killer when it's so big. If you drop it on a bug, it'll kill the bug. And, you know, Walt Disney was a great conservative businessman, an innovator, an inventor. And this piece of audio I'm going to play for you right now exposes the individual who is behind what's going on with wrecking this piece of Americana. Listen to this. This is the female president of Disney Entertainment. She was the one from the Zoom meeting leak last week. She has 2 kids. One is transgender, and the other one is omnisexual or something. I can't remember what that was. Listen to this.
Great. And
let me start that over because I had the audio muted here. So let me start this over. This is the lady president of Disney. She has 2 children. One is transgender. The other one is pansexual. Yeah, pansexual, meaning attracted to all sexualities and genders. Okay, here she is.
When I was at Freeform, it was very much in the brand ethos of Freeform to be the tip of the spear when it comes to inclusion, and we, like you, Latoya, I mean, we jumped up and down, we celebrated that, nobody stopped us, and it felt great, and in part, I think nobody stopped us because we were, we were targeting Gen Z and millennials, we were targeting a younger, I think more open-minded, and now we know, as my son texted me this morning, Gen Z is 30 to 40% queerer than the other generation's mom. So Disney better get with it. And
okay, see what's going on here? This woman has a son. We don't know. And by the way, is he the pansexual or the transgender? And why are you being so specific with the gender? But anyway, she has 2 children. One's transgender. The other is pansexual, whatever that is. And yeah, and so the president of Disney, that woman, she is making this decision because her transgender or pansexual child is telling her to do it. Think about that. That's exactly what's happening here. That's exactly what's going on here. I'm a parent, I have a daughter, and my daughter's very smart, and she helps me do a lot of things. She set up this studio that I have at home that if you watch on YouTube, it's amazing. But, and I don't, my daughter helps me a lot on things, technically at home for my podcast and stuff like this. But I don't make business decisions based on what she tells. She's 23 years old. She doesn't have enough life experience. She doesn't tell me what to do business-wise. She doesn't give me financial advice. She doesn't tell me what the format of my content should be, whether it's on the radio, my podcast, YouTube, whatever it is I'm doing. Right? She's 23 years old. Very smart. But that's not her area of expertise, okay? This woman is changing the shape of an American institution because her transgender or pansexual child is text messaging her, and she has some type of white heterosexual guilt that something's wrong with her, and she's making all of these changes because of these text messages from her kid. That's what's going on here. I have one last piece of audio that I'm going to share after the break. This is insane. The CEO of Disney joined the Zoom. His name is Bob Chapek. And what you'll hear in this, you will hear the CEO of Walt Disney's company, Walt Disney, grovel to the LGBTQI plus community. And it's bizarre. I'm going to play it for you after the break. I know. Insane. Insane. Now, first, though, I want to tell you about the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow, Mike Lindell. And, you know, this cancel culture Mike Lindell's going up against is insane. Canceled by his banks, canceled by the retailers, canceled by television stations who will no longer carry him. Cancel culture, canceled from everything. They hacked Frank's speech within seconds of being online. Banned from social media platforms. Mike Lindell. Why? Because he stands up for what we believe in. MAGA, Trump, America, making America great again, saving America, keeping America great. He's facing billions of dollars in defamation lawsuits from multiple companies and individuals. He has spent tens of millions of dollars in his own money, not just fighting these legal fights, but standing up for what is right. And Mike Lindell was asked, what can people do to help you? He said, go to MyPillow.com, buy my great products, and when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, you will find incredible deals on incredible products. I live in a MyPillow household. My wife, myself, my daughter, we all have the MyPillows. We got the MyPillow slippers. We've got the MyPillow bathrobes, the MyPillow sheets, the MyPillow pet beds. We've got the MyPillow mattress toppers. We've got it all. The MyPillow towels. When you buy these products, these are great products, and you use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, you're supporting Mike Lindell and all his efforts, and of course, this program and all the content I bring to you. Not just the radio show, my podcast, my YouTube channel, the Steve Kane Radio Show. When you use our promo code KANE at checkout, you're supporting all of that, and great items that are perfect gifts for Mother's Day. The MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, 60% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. The MyPillow My Slippers, 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout. The MyPillow towels, the lowest price ever, normally $109.99, just $39.99. The MyPillow pet beds, I have 2 of these. Your pets will love them. The MyPillow pet beds, 50% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E at checkout. The MyPillow bathrobes, 30% off. The MyPillow 2-inch mattress topper, 50% off. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, 30% off with the promo code KANE, and you get 2 free MyPillows. There's many other great specials there at MyPillow.com. That's just a few. You know, Easter's right around the corner. The brand new product, the MyPillow Bible Story Throw Blankets. These are brand new. And there are 5 different MyPillow Bible Story blankets. The first tells the story of creation. They all have beautiful artwork on them depicting the story from the Bible. The second, the story of Daniel and the lion. The third, Jonah and the whale. The fourth, Noah's Ark. The fifth, the story of the birth of Jesus. And these are great for the kids and the grandkids for Easter. 30% off with the promo code KANE, the Bible Story Throw Blankets. 30% off. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE. K-A-N-E.
Steve Kane Radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to a Champagne Automotive, and I gotta say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. You know, it belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I gotta say that this man fixed the car, it's running like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, 10 before 7, it's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year, the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. By the way, our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631, toll-free no matter where you're calling from. And those of you that have been calling, sorry I haven't taken the calls yet. I will get to call soon. One more piece of audio from the Disney Zoom meeting that leaked out. This is this is really frightening stuff here. This next piece of audio is the CEO of Disney. Let me cue it up here. Here it is. His name is Bob Chapek, and what you hear here is him groveling to the alphabet genders. There's so many, I don't even know. I mean, they just might as well say the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z communities. I mean, they got the whole alphabet there. This is the CEO, Bob Chapek, of Disney, groveling to the alphabet community. Listen to this. Then this all leaked out. This was not meant for public consumption. And I'll tell you, all this video, this audio that I'm playing, now there's a little hope here. It is leaked out from someone that was a part of the meeting. So someone inside of Disney that was a part of this executive meeting where they're discussing the healthcare plans covering transition procedures for the children of employees, there are some people in there that think like us, that this is wackadoodle. And they're taking this information, they're like the Project Veritas whistleblowers that you've heard from social media giants and CNN. There are whistleblowers inside Disney that are taking this information and leaking this content to the public. So there are some heroes and heroines in the story. So here we go. This is the CEO of Disney, Bob Chapek, groveling to the alphabet genders. Listen to this.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day for this very important session. By now, I hope you've all read my most recent note, in which I pledge to be a better ally for the LGBTQ+ community, apologize for not being the ally that you needed me to be, and committed to ensuring that our company lives up to its values. I meant every word, and that's what we're here to talk about today. I know that we've got work to do, and that work starts with listening. I'm glad the company will hear from today's panel of LGBTQ+ employees, and I hope that you are as impacted as I've been by the voices that I've heard over the past few weeks. I've read many emails that have been sent, spoken with LGBTQ+ employees and their allies, met with advocacy groups, and convened my own leadership team. And I have been taken by the honesty, the openness, and the urgency of their stories. I want you to know that your words have made a real impact on me. I understand that we've made mistakes and the pain that those mistakes have caused. And I know that our silence wasn't just about the bill in Florida, but about every time an individual or institution that should have stood up for this community did not. I and the leadership team are determined to use this moment as a catalyst for more meaningful and lasting change. We've heard many suggestions on how to do that, and we are working to move quickly. I want to thank the LGBTQIA+ Advisory Council, their allies, and everyone else who has submitted ideas on how we can take action. I am convening a meeting with all my direct reports and representatives of the Advisory Council to discuss the thoughtful suggestions that have been made. But we know the moment requires urgency and words are not enough. So we are taking some actions right now.
Okay, that's Bob Chapek groveling to the alphabet genders of Disney. Okay, you know, a couple weeks back, there was a major pedophile bust in Orlando. Among those arrested, sheriff came out, had a press conference, were multiple employees from Disney World. Where's the message from the CEO of Disney that they're going to do better checks on people to make sure they don't have any more of these pedophiles working at their land up there? Didn't hear that. That's not on the radar. This is messed up, people. This is why, you know, I'm very upset about Ketanji being on the Supreme Court of the United States. You know, Ketanji, our new Supreme Court Justice lady here, with those light sentences on the child pornographers. And I know everyone is saying, oh, well, the balance of the court stays the same. Really? I would say the court, no. Yeah, she's a liberal. And she'll vote with the liberals. But what has happened here, it's much like the Disney issue. What's happened with Ketanji's confirmation to the Supreme Court of the United States, what's happened here is that someone who is I love this term that I've heard Marjorie Taylor Greene and others say, a pedophile apologist. That's what she is, right? She told one of the convicted guys that she felt sorry for him. Not as victims, but for him, the victimizer. We've got a woman that's soft on pedophiles, on child pornographers on the Supreme Court of the United States. And if you're telling yourselves that didn't change the balance of the Supreme Court, you're kidding yourself. You're not thinking clearly. The Supreme Court is incredibly out of balance when we have someone who's soft on child pornography on that Supreme Court. It's taking us another step down the drain of immorality in this country. It is. Whatever you say, maybe you may think it's a small step. I don't think it is a small step. I think it's a giant leap. She should have been forced to withdraw herself from that nomination process when these issues came up. During her first round of confirmations, we didn't know about it. Then we did. We talked about it. You guys were upset. There wasn't one protest I saw anywhere near Washington, near that Senate chamber, of people upset that a woman who was soft on child pornographers was about to get nominated to the Supreme Court of the United States. Now she's there for the rest of her life. We have taken a step to normalize a taboo in American, and not just American, all societies, all law-abiding, decent, civilized societies. The child pornographer, the kiddie porn people. That was a disgrace yesterday. Let me tell you, it was a disgrace. And it's disgusting. And it fits into this thing with Disney. We are going down in some dark places in this country. Places we never thought. I mean, this thing, you know, obviously Biden was going to get a liberal black female on the Supreme Court. He's the president. Not happy about that, but he had to pick. But it did have to be her? Why did it have to be Ketanji? And I know some Republicans did some good stuff, but did they do enough? Did they do enough? I don't think so. I do not think so. You know, the Republicans, they should have had a press conference with Republicans from both houses, by the way, not just the Senate, coming forward with victims of child pornography and said, no, we will not stand for this. None of that happened. And now we have someone who's soft on child pornographers for the rest of their life on the Supreme Court of the United States. This is not like having Breyer up there. This court is way out of balance with that. Now, the next time someone's nominated and they have some type of taboo-like thing in their past, they're going to sail through too. Now, it's dark outside. I can't see the weather. I'm hearing noise outside. I don't know if it's dark. I can't see anything but street lights and headlights, but is that thunder I've been hearing outside? I don't know. I've been hearing some noise in the background. I don't know. Is it thundering outside? I have no idea. I can't tell until the sun comes up. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Oh, by the way, don't forget, tomorrow on our radio station, Saturday on all our radio stations, 11 a.m., Dr. Lemaski, free therapy, guys. And I know a lot of you need it. And then at 12 o'clock, Al Knight with the Al Knight Show at noontime on all of our radio stations and also on iHeartRadio and the TuneIn app. Any way that you listen to this program, you can hear Dr. Lemaski at 11 and Al Knight at noon. And they take calls live on the air, all right? They have a different call-in number than we do because they're not in the same studio. But on all of our radio stations, Al Knight at noon and Dr. Lemaski at 11, all right? 1 hour down, 2 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hey there guys, it's Kathy, Brian's better half, and one of the most important holidays of the year is coming up, Mother's Day. We all love our moms. They always take such good care of their families. And now it's time to take care of the moms in your life. Whether it's for your wife, your own mother, your grandma, or your daughter, MyPillow.com has amazing gifts any mom will love. They have pillows, sheets, slippers, blankets, and so much more. Get your mom a gift she will love and one she will actually use year after year. When you visit MyPillow.com, be sure to use promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, for absolutely amazing deals. MyPillow.com, perfect gifts for all the moms in your life. And remember, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, for huge savings and great deals.
Be right back, guys.
Steve Kane, Richie the bus driver, and many other Steve Kane listeners tell you about the great work Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care offers. Steve Kane listener, hey, called in, he had an accident, he went to Dr. Gupta, and he told us his story.
Good morning, Brian. My name's Hank. I'm calling from Hollywood. Brian, I'm calling you for a different thing. About a month or so ago, I called first thing in the morning because I fainted coming out of my bathroom. And I busted my 3 front teeth. I busted my chin, but I guess I fainted, I fell, I cracked my chin, it hit my upper teeth, and cracked my 3 front teeth. I want to thank you, and I really want to thank Dr. Gupta. I mean, besides the fact that my teeth look great, besides the fact that, you know, his assistant is really good, really nice, they're all really nice over there, the price was unbelievable. When I came home and I told my wife, she's like, I thought that thing was going to cost you 3 times as much. I said, so did I. And I just want to thank you. I want to thank Dr. Gupta. He's awesome. Appreciate your show. I listen to your show a lot. I only called in, this is the second time. Both
Steve
times
Kane Show.
to make sure I'm going to the right office where Dr. was, and then this one to let you know that he's great. I know you know he's great. I just want your listeners to know he's great. The system is great. The prices are great. Everything is great over there.
Well, listen, I'm glad you had a great experience with Dr.
Yeah, I did. Thank you again, Brian.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, and thank Eve, and you guys keep up the good work over there. I appreciate it. Dr. Gupta, you keep up the good work, too.
All right, there we go.
So everybody keep up.
All right, I think you guys just heard what will be the new commercial for Dr. Gupta.
Do what Hank did. Call Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. For Steve Kane listeners, free consultations. And always the best price. Give Dr. Gupta a call right now. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782.
All righty. 4 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year. Oops, sorry guys. I just hit the camera for YouTube and spun it around. Might make you dizzy. It is open phones today on Friday. Those of you on hold, stand by. I want to bring up a thing or two more in this hour before I go to the calls. There's a lot going on. And I do have a guest scheduled later in the hour. But anyway, so let me get to all this stuff. So, pedophile apologist is what Marjorie Taylor Greene and others have described Ketanji as. She's the new Supreme Court justice. So she got up there on the Supreme Court. She's been confirmed now. It's happening. This is NBC News, NBC Nightly News, not the MSNBC version. NBC is supposed to be, where the classy people are, right? You've got MSNBC, which is just, amateur hour, supposedly, according to NBC. NBC Nightly News is where the real journalism is. That's where the real credible journalism occurs. Don't judge NBC based on MSNBC. The classy journalists, the real people, the real reporters, they're at NBC. Listen to this. This clip here is NBC Nightly News and their coverage of the vote confirming Ketanji to the Supreme Court.
Ketanji Brown Jackson cementing her place in history. Cheers ringing out in the chamber, senators wiping away tears, members of the Congressional Black Caucus crowding in the back. Republicans quickly filed out, walking past Mitt Romney of Utah as he stood applauding. Romney, along with Susan Collins of Maine and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, the only Republican senators to vote yes. At the White House, President Biden and Judge Jackson watched together, hand in hand, when the 51-year-old Jackson joins the court for the first time in history. 4 of the 9 justices will be women, and white men will be in the minority.
See, that's what they're celebrating. White men will be in the minority, and that is what is so important. Racial oppression of white people. I am all for diversity. Okay, I am no racist, obviously, as having an interracial family and all. But there's overrepresentation of groups in our society. You watch network television. Every news show stars a black female as the lead. Every one. There are no longer white male leads. That's overrepresentation. And they're celebrating that white men will be the minority on the court. Why is that something to celebrate? To celebrate that white men will be the minority. By the way, it's still a conservative majority. Don't get too excited, NBC News. But to celebrate that white men are a minority on the court, isn't that counter to what liberals want to do? Why do you celebrate when someone is a minority? See, what they're celebrating is they believe now that white men are the minority on the court, that the oppression can begin. And they're playing just a bad game here. There's something, I'm sorry I have not gotten to the calls yet. I will get to the calls, people. I'm really sorry. There's just so much going on. Chris Wallace, okay, fired by Fox News. I know they let him leave, but he had no choice. He had to resign. He had to retire from Fox. He's gone over to CNN's app now, CNN Plus, and he interviewed the woman who's the founder of the 1619 Project. And there's 2 things about this. One's about Chris Wallace, and one's about the 1619 Project. Now, of course, the 1619 Project is a very racist project, I'm here to tell you. The United States was founded officially July 4th, I sound like our callers. The country was founded on July 4th, 1776, right? They were thinking about it in January, so I wasn't completely wrong. No, but they founded the country. The country's official founding is July 4th, 1776, when the Declaration of Independence was signed, right? July 4th, 4th of July. And the 1619 Project, this is what that's about, okay? It's about revisionist history, changing history. People have finally woken up to the idea, well, wait a minute. They keep talking about 400 years of slavery. This country is not 400 years old, just over 200, right? And July 4th, 1776, there was even debate there about the role of Africans in the New World. And this entire country, for almost, up through the Civil War, there was a constant fight going on in America, in the early United States, over slavery. Bloody Kansas, free states, slave states, the whole story. And the reparations crowd, they were losing ground because the American people were becoming educated that this country did not found the idea of slavery in America, that this country ended slavery in the New World. And it was something that America was divided and fighting about for almost 100 years until the end of the Civil War. Okay? Yeah. And you know the story. I don't have to tell you the stories. Well, it's hard to get reparations when this country ended slavery. So what the 1619 Project is about is changing history, that this country was not founded on July 4th, 1776, but was founded in 1619. And they have determined that in 1619, the first African slave was brought to the New World, brought to America. And what they're trying to do with the 1619 Project, and they've had a lot of success with this in the education system. This is what critical race theory is all about, is that this country was not founded on July 4, 1776. It was founded in 1619, when the first African slave was brought to what would be the United States. That means the United States is responsible for the slave trade. And the reason that's so important to them is because they want the United States to pay. Can't get the money from the people that brought slavery here, the Brits, the French, the Spanish, whoever, the Europeans. You gotta blame us because we've got the deep pockets today, not Europe. They got nothing. They can't even defend themselves, right? That's why we fund NATO. They don't even pay their UN dues, most of these countries. So, that's why they've done it. So Chris Wallace sat down with the founder of the 1619 Project, and there's two things going on here that I'll talk about. But let me just play it. One's about Chris Wallace, and the other's about the 1619 Project founder.
I agree with that. I'm just not sure that I would say that if it weren't for blacks, there wouldn't be a democracy at all.
Well, we know how we got democracy. It was through a decades-long black resistance struggle called the Civil Rights Movement. That is a black rights struggle. Okay,
now I want to say this. This is the founder of the 1619 Project talking to Chris Wallace. This is something that they don't acknowledge, and Chris Wallace has an agenda here, which I'll share with you when we're done, but African Americans did not make themselves free, and also the Civil Rights Movement was not successful because of African Americans. It's because of white people. White people decided to free the slaves. In the 60s, whites decided that this is enough. This Democrat Jim Crow crap's got to stop, and we're going to have equal rights for African Americans in this country. And the reason I can tell you with complete confidence and factual accuracy that white people freed the slaves and white people gave blacks their civil rights is because blacks were not in power. We didn't have a black caucus in the 60s. There were no black people in the House or the Senate prior to the Civil War and during the Civil War that passed this stuff. So the people that they say are racist and are born racist, it's in our DNA, these 1619 people say that white people are born racist. White people are the ones that said enough of this. This isn't the way this is going to be. Blacks will be free people. They will have equal rights as white people. I have a lot of respect for Martin Luther King. He was a great man, and I've been to his home, I've been to his church, I went to the King Museum, he's amazing. I stood on the steps at the Capitol where he gave the I Have a Dream speech, and he was a great man, but he didn't do it because blacks were not in a position of power in the government to do it. White people did that. So, it wasn't, we have this equality because white people said this is not how we want this country to be. So white people don't owe a debt or an apology or should be bashed. Because the civil rights movement was won because white people said no more of this crap. Now I'm going to take our break. When we get back, I'll play this audio. I don't have time. It's 2 minutes long. I want to take the break so we can play it and discuss it. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Callers on hold, stand by. I will at some point get to the calls. My apologies, okay? We will get to the calls today. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable, but there is help at the Lighthouse Medical Center. Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. They will test for both environmental and food allergies. No appointment is necessary. And make sure you mention you heard about them on The Steve Kane Show.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, 18 minutes after the hour. All right, now let me get back to this. So Chris Wallace on this CNN app that no one's going to buy interviewed the founder of the 1619 Project. Let me start it from the beginning, and then we'll talk what's going on here. So this is Chris Wallace on his CNN app interviewing the 1619 Project founder.
I agree with that. I'm just not sure that I would say that if it weren't for blacks, there wouldn't be a democracy at all.
Well, we know how we got democracy. It was through a decades-long black resistance struggle called the Civil Rights Movement. That is a black rights struggle. So you may not like the framing, but what I can tell you is the Double V for Victory campaign was black people were fighting in an army. They were going overseas. They were dying to liberate other countries and then coming home and being lynched for wearing their uniform.
By the way, being lynched by Democrats, not Republicans. Remember, every black man lynched in America was a Republican. And every man who lynched a black man in America was a Democrat. That's a fact.
To liberate other countries and then coming home and being lynched for wearing their uniform. They were coming home and they could not vote. They were coming home and they could see German prisoners of war going into restaurants and being served where they could not be served.
Okay, now this story here, during the Second World War, there were Nazi prisoners of war at prison camps in the United States in places like Democrat-run Georgia. She's saying that white Nazi prisoners were allowed to just go into restaurants and eat, and blacks couldn't go in there. That's from a movie or two. I've seen that in a couple movies, like the Tuskegee Airmen and such. There are movies that have depicted this, but I've not seen photographs of it actually happening.
Into restaurants and being served where they could not be served.
I completely agree with all of that.
Right, but you want to treat that as a marginal to the American story. But you can't call yourself the greatest democracy and the greatest democratizing force in the country while violently and brutally suppressing democracy at home. And that's what happened for millions of American citizens.
Here's where I take some objection. You're talking about, if you say the country, that we were fighting for democracy overseas and we were not living it, walking the walk, talking the talk at home, I completely agree with you. But you specifically say the greatest generation brutally suppressing, many of this generation brutally suppressing democracy for millions of Americans. To me, and I think Tom Brokaw, when he originally wrote the book, The Greatest Generation, was talking about 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds who came out of the farm fields of the Midwest, who came out of ethnic neighborhoods in Brooklyn and South Philly and stormed the beaches of Normandy and fought to defeat the worst regime, I would argue, in world history. And to say that they were 20, 30-year-olds. The country was brutally suppressing blacks, but the greatest generation wasn't.
Well, they were.
They weren't. You're telling me that a kid coming off a farm in Indiana or a kid who came from Brooklyn was suppressing
Indiana
black people?
had the largest population of the Klan in the United States. The Klan was resurged
that wasn't
in
a 20-year-old kid who
You don't think 20-year-olds were in the Klan?
Okay, now let me tell you. Okay, so let me tell you about this and why I play Chris Wallace here. Boy, I tell you, he's a liberal jerk, and this is what Chris Wallace is doing here. Okay, because he's a liberal and he believes all of us that are MAGA are racist, right? You got a guy who's done nothing in his life. He's gotten by on his daddy's name. Mike Wallace was very famous, well respected, and Chris Wallace, all he's done is gotten by on his dad's name. That's it. But he thinks he's some accomplished journalist. This is what Chris Wallace is doing here. Why did he debate this black racist woman who's the founder of the 1619 Project? It's simple. No one is watching the CNN app. Chris Wallace believes that he has a following of support among Republicans from Fox News. He's trying to bring Fox News viewers to the CNN app that no one's watching or down. I'm not going to watch a damn thing on that app. I saw that on Twitter. Okay? Elon Musk's Twitter. I wouldn't download that CNN app on any of my devices if they gave me a free lifetime membership. Okay? Chris Wallace agrees with her. Chris Wallace believes that white conservative MAGA Republicans are racist. And the only reason he debated that woman is to try to get some of the Fox News viewers to download that app that no one's going to watch, the CNN app, and watch him so he can try to bring over the Fox News viewers over to that app. That's not happening, Chris Wallace. You can debate the 1619 Project people and the critical race theory people all day, all night. No one's going to download that app. No one likes you. We're not racist. He agrees with her, by the way. He agrees with her. But he's pretending that he does not. All right. My name is Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Okay, now, Jen Psaki. This is an unbelievable thing with Jen Psaki. I know. I told you guys we got a lot to talk about today. What do they say all the time? Harris Faulkner. We got lots to unpack here. I don't think I've taken a breath since 6 a.m. And I'm still just scratching the surface. I haven't even gotten to my show prep yet. You know, this is just okay. This is crazy. This is crazy here. Jen Psaki, who's leaving the White House to go work at MSNBC. They should run an ad campaign. Jen Psaki, another reason not to watch MSNBC. But she's still the White House press spokesperson. And you've all heard the story that Nancy Pelosi has the COVID now. She's got the COVID. And Barack Obama wouldn't go near Biden the other day at the White House, right? Blew him off, ignored him, humiliated him, called him the vice president. Joe comes up behind Barack, puts his hand on his shoulder. Barack, come over here. Barack didn't even acknowledge him. But Nancy Pelosi acknowledged Joe. She hugged Joe. She even kissed Joe. You seen the picture? Nancy Pelosi, at that Obama event, hugged and kissed Joe Biden. Eeh! So Nancy Pelosi has COVID now. So some people in the White House press corps were a little concerned. Pelosi has the COVID. While she was COVID positive, and she still is today, she was hugging and kissing Biden. Is this a concern that Joe Biden can get COVID because of this close contact, the hug and the kiss? So Steve Doocy asked Jen Psaki about this, about the close contact between Pelosi and Biden. Listen to this. This is the White House press briefing yesterday. Steve Doocy from Fox News talking to Jen Psaki. Listen to this.
How can you guys say that President Biden was not a close contact with Speaker Pelosi when there is video of the speaker kissing him?
Well, Peter, the way that it is defined is by the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, and their definition of it is 15 minutes of contact within a set period of time.
Okay, are you getting this? Close contact, according to Jen Psaki, is not hugging and kissing someone. Close contact is now 15 minutes of close contact. By that definition, 99% of sex isn't even close contact because it lasts less than 15 minutes. Think about that. She's saying that sex, for the most part, is not close contact unless it lasts 15 minutes or more. That's Jen Psaki. This is right out of George Orwell's 1984. Have any of you, in this 2.5 years of social distancing, have any of you ever heard that close contact is defined as contact that is minimum 15 minutes? That's the new definition. Listen.
How can you guys say that President Biden was not a close contact with Speaker Pelosi when there is video of the speaker kissing him?
Well, Peter, the way that it is defined is by the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, and their definition of it is 15 minutes of contact within a set period of time and within 6 feet. It did not meet that bar. It does not mean...
Because she hugged and kissed Biden. But that's not close contact. It has to last 15 minutes.
That no one will get COVID around the world who does not have a close contact.
Think about this. O.J. Simpson killed Ron and Nicole. He did not have close contact with them because he killed them in less than 15 minutes. Oh yeah, he cut their throats, slit them up, cut out the breast implant. That was not close contact. because O.J. was not doing it for more than 15 minutes. It was less than 15 minutes, so O.J. Simpson did not have close contact with Ron Goldman or Nicole Brown Simpson when he murdered them, according to Jen Psaki.
How do you guys say that President Biden was not in close contact with Speaker Pelosi when there is video of the speaker kissing him?
Well, Peter, the way that it is defined is by the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, and their definition of it is 15 minutes of contact within a set period of time and within 6 feet. It did not meet that bar. It does not mean that that no one will get COVID around the world who does not have a close contact. It just means we are defining for all of you whether the president...
Steve Kane Show. Hello? Hey, Scott, it's Brian. I'm going to take a break here in a moment, and then after the break, I'm going to go right to you on the air, okay? Hold on. Okay, it goes on. So, Nancy Pelosi hugged and kissed Joe Biden, but that is not close contact. It has to last 15 minutes. Oh, my goodness. That's the new definition. All right, now listen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have a special guest joining us, and a household name to a lot of you in this audience. Scott Pressler is on hold right now. That's right, and we'll be talking with Scott Pressler right after this break.
96.9, South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to announce my new product, My Slippers. They took me over 2 years to develop because I didn't want just an ordinary slipper. My slippers are meant to be worn all day long, no matter what you're doing, whether you're inside or outside. My slippers come with an exclusive 3-tier cushioning system that you won't find in any other slipper. It combines 2 layers of foam, including my proprietary My Pillow foam and a patented impact gel made from U.S. soybeans. My 3-tier cushioning system is going to help relieve pressure points, provide that micro support you need for all-day comfort, and help prevent fatigue. Not only that, my slippers are made with high-quality leather and a premium indoor-outdoor sole that make them extremely durable. I personally guarantee they're going to be the most comfortable slippers you'll ever own.
And right now,
What would you like me to ask Scott Pressler about? Let me know in the chat. I'll see if I can...
K-A-N-E at checkout at mypillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E at checkout. Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for Duck.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's 33 minutes after the hour. On the Celebrity Hotline, we have Scott Pressler, a household name among listeners of this program. And when he's not cleaning up the trash in Baltimore, he's registering people to vote, and he's in Florida. And next week, Scott Pressler will be right here in South Florida, and you all have an opportunity to meet Scott Pressler. Scott Pressler, welcome. Thanks for your time this morning.
I'm happy to. Even though when you told me it was 7:30, I had a mini heart attack.
Hey.
We'll always make for Brian Fresh.
Yeah, and Scott Pressler and I have known each other for a long time. Back in the days of Periscope, when Scott Pressler was sitting in Starbucks with a Gays for Trump sticker on his laptop, and now look where you are. You're a superstar.
Well, thank you. And, you know, I'm spending the entire month of April in Florida. I started in Destin. I went to Madison County. I went to Palatka. I just spent the last 2 days in Jacksonville doing voter registration at gas stations. I am ready to rock and roll, baby.
Well, Ron DeSantis' free Florida that we live in, and I've lived in Florida most of my life, and Ron DeSantis is the greatest governor that Florida or any other state has ever had. And for the very first time in Florida history, Republican registered voters outnumber Democrat registered voters, and that's a great thing, Scott. And I've believed for a long time that the vast majority of people in America are Republican. And most of them don't know it, but they are. What's been your experience traveling around the country registering people to vote for our great President Donald Trump?
Well, a lot of people, they believe that we have to be in persuasion mode. And don't get me wrong, it is important to explain to Democrats the regressive policies of today's Democrat Party. But really, it's about turnout. It's about talking to Christians. It's about talking to people who care about medical freedom and election integrity and parental choice in education and energy independence and securing that gosh dang border and an internet bill of rights. Those are the issues that people care about. And so when I'm traveling the country, I'm very adamant on this. It's not good enough to just be anti-Democrat. It's not good enough to just be anti-Joe Biden. That only gets you so many votes. We need to create a Republican Party that is going to drive people to want to register as a Republican. And that's why I'm pushing this message that when Republicans take the House and take the Senate this November, we need to make sure that we are electing America First conservatives, that on day one, I want that Keystone Pipeline. On day one, I want that Medical Freedom and Patient Protection Act, that no American citizen can be fired, can be forced into retirement, can be forced to choose another profession because they made a personal medical decision. These are the issues that the American people
would you like me to ask him? I'll put it. But you're a millennial and you're gay. You're not supposed to be a Republican, right? You're supposed to be, ready for Hillary. You're supposed to be for Joe Biden. What turns a millennial gay guy into a Trump-supporting, American First, conservative, MAGA Republican?
For me, it's easy. The biggest difference between Democrats and Republicans is Democrats govern by coercion, by mandate, by force, by dictating what you can and cannot do as a private citizen. Whereas Republicans, and we've seen this as evidenced by Governor Ron DeSantis, that Republicans lead by liberty and by freedom and by choice. And yes, I am a millennial, and yes, those are parts of me, but those don't define me. I am an American who is the son of a retired Navy captain, who is the grandson of a retired Navy captain, and I'm fighting for freedom, and I want to pass on that torch of liberty to the next generation of leadership so that they may be privileged to have the same freedoms that I have been able to have. And ultimately, I believe in freedom.
Well, when did you become a Republican?
I was to thank President Obama.
Yes.
No, really. In 2012, he was reelected, right? But it was that night that I created my Twitter account. And that same Twitter account that today I nearly have 1 million followers on. It changed my life. But I pointed the finger back at myself and I said, God, where were you knocking on doors? Where were you registering voters? Where were you getting out the vote? Really, my inaction allowed President Obama to get reelected because I wasn't a part of the political process. And so I started volunteering. I fell in love with it, and it changed my life. I've always been conservative-leaning, but I want to make it very clear. I am not a George Bush Republican. I am not a Liz Cheney Republican. I am not an Adam Kinzinger Republican. I am not a Lisa Murkowski or a Susan Collins. I am a Governor Ron DeSantis Republican and a Donald Trump Republican. And most importantly, I'm an America First Republican, and that is the difference.
Well, the problem is, though, the millennial and Gen Z generation are being brainwashed by BLM and Antifa and the Democrat Party to think that America First is somehow like racist, ethnocentric, evil, that it's time for others, that America is responsible for all of the problems in the world.
You know, a lot of people are waking up, and this gas station voter registration is so much fun. And really, it's an opportunity to have that dialogue. When people are saying, why are gas prices so high? And then they come to find out that on day one of Joe Biden becoming president, he canceled our Keystone Pipeline. He canceled energy independence. He canceled working class jobs. Well, at the same time, he greenlit Nord Stream 2, giving Putin a pipeline in Russia. And then when we have conversations with them and we talk about the fact that, no, we need to drill, baby, drill, buy American, hire American, and drill American, because it's so foolish to purchase oil from Russia or Saudi Arabia or Iran, adversaries of our country. And so it's really given us the opportunity to have dialogue and discussion. And we've seen a lot of people, especially young people, who are now waking up to the regressive policies of the Democrat Party.
Now, we have Scott Pressler on the program today because Scott Pressler is in Florida for the entire month, but next week you're going to be in South Florida. Where can people come to meet you next week, Scott Pressler?
I am coming to the troubled children, and I mean that with all due love and respect. I'm coming to Broward. I'm coming to Palm Beach. I'm coming to Miami-Dade. So on the 12th, we're going to be at Gillespie's in Broward County. You can go to my Twitters, at Scott Pressler, SCOTTPRESLER, for more information. On the 13th, I'm going to be speaking to the Palm Beach County REC, which is the Republican Executive Committee. And then on the 14th, I'm going to be with the Broward County Young Patriots. And the 16th, I'm very excited because in Palm Beach, we're going to be doing voter registration at the gun show. So no, we are not afraid to go to the troubled children of South Florida. And quite frankly, I want to make it clear, I was just in Duval County, which is a blue county. We are working tirelessly to flip these counties from blue to red. Miami-Dade is flippable. Broward is flippable. Palm Beach County is flippable. All it takes is a little bit of elbow grease. So please, go to my social media. I'm posting every single day the event details, and we would love for you to join us.
Yeah, and remember, Palm Beach is the home of President Trump. The Mar-a-Lago is located in Palm Beach, so we definitely, it is most definitely flippable.
Absolutely. And most importantly, look, I really want to say one thing about our governor. I truly respect Governor Ron DeSantis because he is so unafraid. This is the man that took on Disney, that isn't bowing down to big corporations, that isn't bowing down to special interest groups, that isn't bowing down to lobbyists. And really, I want to hone in on this message. The future of the Republican Party is truly parental choice in education, and I want to say God bless Governor Ron DeSantis for giving us that parental Bill of Rights, and I hope that legislation inspires legislators across the country, that they will empower parents across this great nation. It started right here in the great state of Florida. By the way, I was born in Jacksonville, so I'm a Floridian.
Oh, well, that's good. That's right. Well, I tell you, Ron DeSantis is free Florida. We're very glad to have you here, Scott Pressler, registering more people to vote Republican in the midterms. And again, find Scott Pressler on Twitter. All the details of his appearances throughout Florida and South Florida next week will be listed there. I may see you at the gun show. I plan on going to the gun show. Well, that's a week from tomorrow. So if I see you there, I'll say hi to you, Scott. And thanks for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Brian Craig, and please vote on Tuesday, November 8th, 2022.
All right, take care, Scott. Scott Pressler, great guy. Oh, man. Scott and I met each other back in the days of Periscope. Remember Periscope? And we were just live streamers on Periscope. And now, look, he's a household name, and I'm here. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. And again, find Scott Pressler, at Scott Pressler on Twitter. And he lists all the dates and times and places he will be where you can meet him. All right. We'll take our last break of the second hour. This is the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Celebrating 45 years on the radio this year, the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning?
Steve Kane Show.
Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle
Hey,
twitching,
Steve Kane Show.
sleeping.
Hey, Doug.
It all. The symptoms can make life unbearable, but there is help at
Oh, yeah, Scott's awesome.
Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to announce my new product, My Slippers. They took me over 2 years to develop because I didn't want just an ordinary slipper. My slippers are meant to be worn all day long, no matter what you're doing, whether you're inside or outside. My slippers come with an...
Yeah, we don't do a lot of guests, but when I have guests, they're relevant people, you know? I don't like to have guests just to have guests.
Impact gel made from U.S. soybeans. My 3-tier cushioning system is going to help relieve pressure points, provide that micro support you need for all-day comfort, and help prevent fatigue. Not only that, my slippers are made with high-quality leather and a premium indoor-outdoor sole that make them extremely durable. I personally guarantee they're going to be the most comfortable slippers you'll ever own.
And right now, save 40% off the MyPillow My Slippers when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All righty, we're back. 46 minutes after the hour. Let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good morning. Chris from Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, hey, Chris. What's up?
Hey, great show. You're talking about my favorite subject, the uneducated history of our country. And I love talking to my fellow, I guess I'll just say black, only African-American, family members, friends, classmates, all that, because they're so brainwashed. I almost put that in my yearbook about the brainwashing and manipulation that we get. But clearly, America is not 400 years old. Clearly, that slave trade came over with even Africans. They were knee-deep in the slave trade, selling each other. And we've been trying to get rid of it since the founding of the country, but the Democrats wouldn't let us.
Well, what we're finding now with both BLM and the 1619 Project, what it really is a business for people to become millionaires. Look at these multi-million-dollar property deals we're hearing from BLM. And one thing that all critical race theory promoters have and the 1619 people have is they have a lot more money than I have. They have millions of dollars.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because my next thing for this founder, 1619, is just grant money and donations to pay her bills for the rest of her life.
Well, I'll tell you that I heard someone the other day talk about a special counsel for the Hunter Biden laptop. What I would like to see Republicans in the midterms start talking about are special hearings into Black Lives Matter and these bizarre real estate dealings they have.
Is as obvious as the crimes that were committed that we know of. I don't know. It's just strategy, Brian, and that's all it is. People need to.
Well, what it is, I'll tell you what it is. Okay. President Trump came down the escalator and brought a whole bunch of black Democrats with him to vote Republican. And what this all is racial division to try to get blacks to come back home to the Democrat Party by causing racial division. That's the main purpose of these movements. And that's why they're so well funded. And that, Black Lives Matter doesn't have tens of millions of dollars to spend on real estate because, they're passing the plate around in black churches on Sunday here and there. They've got some big funding from the Democrat Party. That's where the money's coming from.
And the reality is, everyone's starting to feel it, that the country, we're losing money, higher taxes, our security, everything. That's why I'm so glad you mentioned in the program all week long about what's going on as far as, our country being weakened. I can't stand it. And everyone's waking up to that. So
Well, NBC said now that we have Ketanji, who's a pedophile apologist on the Supreme Court, that now that white men are a minority on the Supreme Court. As a black man in America, you're not applauding that white men are now the minority on the Supreme Court? Why aren't you applauding that? Like Mitt Romney was yesterday.
I love it how you bring everything to light, why the federal judges, and the whole thing, even with like the Democrat-appointed judges who are now defending more crime. But the busing of the illegals to places where people normally don't see them, it's easy to turn your head away from Texas and Arizona and California, even Florida, when you don't live there.
Hey, did you vote for Joe Biden?
Heck no.
Well, then you're not black. Remember when Joe Biden said that? If you're not voting for him, you're not black.
Raised enough head for me to say, wait a second, I can think for myself here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I thought I was talking to a black man here on the phone, Chris. You're I don't know what you are, but according to Joe Biden, you ain't black.
It's amazing where they sweep us under the rug. and you know what? I went to grade school from the late 60s through the early 80s, class of 81 high school. We were actually educated, and they take all that education out of the books now, and it's all agenda-driven. And thank you to President Carter for that, because ever since then, that's where the manipulation started. And we're now, as far as you rate us around the world, American education just isn't there.
See, this is what I want to just stop down on the last 20 minutes of the program. In the last segment, I was speaking with my good longtime friend Scott Pressler, who is a gay Republican who travels the country registering people to vote Republican around the country. Okay, so I'm talking to a gay Republican, a gay MAGA Republican. I take a break, take the call. Now I'm talking to a black man who's a MAGA Republican. See, this is what has the media and the academics and the Democrats in a panic. It used to be a lot like 20 years ago. To get a gay Republican followed by a black Republican, that's like crazy. 2 in a row, people would be like in shock. Like, how many times in the past did you hear Rush Limbaugh, like say 20 years ago, he'd get a call from a black Republican and he would talk to him for 20 minutes like he was an anthropologist that found a tribe of black Republicans somewhere lost along the Nile River in Africa or something. Now it's no big deal. You know what I mean? But it's, the fact that people that are formerly members of Democrat victim groups, gays and blacks, in such large numbers have become Republicans, they're having meltdowns over it. And by the way, you may say, well, you've kept Chris on a long time. Chris, you used to call the show all the time. We haven't heard from you in a while, so I'm keeping him on longer because he's a good caller who used to call us a lot. I don't think we've talked in ages, but you understand what I mean? A black Republican, a black gay guy, it's not like a big deal anymore. It's same. By the way, Jews. It used to be that if you were talking to a Republican who was a Jew, you knew right away they were Orthodox, and it was very unusual. Now, being a Republican black, Republican gay, a Republican Jew is the norm. And, yeah.
As you get involved in America, right now I'm paying high gas prices. Right now I'm paying high taxes. And right now I'm seeing all kinds of dismay, and not to mention the obvious lies and truths that we all knew about. Speaking of Biden, not Mr. President, I guess he's involved too, but certainly his son. And my former state of New York, the governor, you know what happened there, but
yeah.
Goodness, I mean, come on, it's still so.
Well, look at the gas pumps. When I go and get gas, if there's not a Biden sticker pointing to the price saying I did that, somebody has written in permanent marker F Joe Biden with the whole word. I see one or the other on every gas pump I go to. And let me tell you, the people that are defacing with graffiti the gas pumps are not MAGA Republicans. Those are former Democrats too that are pissed off at the high price of gas. Hey, listen, Chris, good to hear from you. And don't be a stranger, all right? You always had good content. Thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
Man, it seems like every day there's another straw to break the camel's back. Every day there's something new on top of the new that the people want to do. I'm wondering what the board on Disney is thinking if the people are all of a sudden worried about LGBT when I just read an article that said that the people in Disney aren't getting paid enough money. So they're worried about LGBT. They're not worried about the rest of the people and everybody who's not making enough money. I think people are going to start protesting Disney, and there's so many people, I guess they won't mind losing some, but I think the board is going to maybe decide.
Now, Disney is in big trouble, and they're going to lose this. They're arrogant, but I was talking about this last Friday. The great governor Ron DeSantis, our wonderful have you seen the song about Ron DeSantis? I'm going to talk about that later. But Ron DeSantis he thinks like Trump. He was mentored by Trump. Trump made him our governor. And I talked about this on the show last week, that Disney has their own city status. They have their own city, and it's called Reedy Creek, and they have a city council where they appoint. They have their own fire department. They can tax. They have their own zoning. So if they build a new ride, they don't have to go and get a permit from the city or the county. They just give themselves the permit because it's their city. And their entire business model is built around that. And Ron DeSantis is threatening to take it away from them. And eventually, when that becomes real to them, the adults on the board of directors will wake up to that, and they'll get a hold of themselves, because their business model does not work if they don't have their own city. You always got to see that's how Trump handled Kim Jong-un. You get these people with purse strings. It's always about the money, and when the money gets threatened, that's how you get to these people.
Well, I certainly hope so, because
Steve Kane Show.
people stop protesting, stop going.
Oh, hey, Janet.
The little guy more than the big guy.
Yeah, I mean, canceling your Disney Plus subscription, that'll have an impact too, but not as much as losing that as the DeSantis plan against Disney, which is just brilliant, outside of the box thinking. All right, Doug, take care. And now it's time for the health report with Janet Cimarelli from AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at the Festival Marketplace in Pompano. Hey, Janet.
Hey, Brian. Good morning. Okay, so sometimes the schedule all through the week, you didn't get to everything you needed to do. So from panic attacks on Friday, I'm talking about how to achieve a calm weekend. So people who are highly stressed, panicking, come into AJ's Natural Wellness and find out about GABA. GABA has that soothing, calming, brain-soothing aspect to it. You will just calm down and be able to focus and think clearly, something that theanine does. So those two amino acids, fabulous, fabulous, fabulous for your brain chemistry. And then, of course, if you want some physical relaxation as well, magnesium. Magnesium and fish oil just soothes your muscles, reduces the inflammation that so often accompanies that high, panicky situation. Oh, you're having a little trouble sleeping because of those panicky, stressed feelings? Come on in and talk to us, because I will give you the information about sleep and stress formula. So you have a whole array of things to keep you calm, help you sleep, and get through the Friday and have a calm weekend. Keeping in mind, 50% off all the groceries at AJ's, 20% off already discounted supplements, all the supplements. And we've got shampoos and toothpastes and moisturizers and lip balms and all kinds of good stuff to keep your skin feeling just fine. Keeping in mind, AJ's is not going to be around after the end of April.
Yeah, now we haven't talked about this, and I was going to wait till next week, but since Janet let the cat out of the bag a little bit, and we'll tell you more on Monday. The Festival Marketplace is being torn down. It's going to be gone and bye-bye. Unfortunately, and that's where AJ's is located. So there's some big sales right now going on at AJ's, because at the end of this month, AJ's will no longer be at the Festival Marketplace, and the Festival Marketplace, sadly, a Florida landmark, is going to, I guess it's going to be a warehouse or something, I don't know, or a parking lot, who knows. So, and we have some announcements involving AJ's coming up next week that we'll share with you, but stop by to... Yeah, and we'll have some announcements at the beginning of the week about AJ's on top of what I just shared. But AJ's is still there, and the festival is not torn down yet, and they're open, of course, 7 days a week. So stop in, take advantage of these deals. The festival, of course, is located in Pompano, just east of the Turnpike, on the south side of Sample Road, and you can easily find AJ's inside. Head back towards the food court. Right before the food court, look west, and AJ's is in front of the information booth. All right, Janet, we'll talk next week. All right, take care. All right, it's coming up on 8 o'clock, almost 8 o'clock. We'll take a break, quick break, come back for the final hour of the program. By the way, open phones on Fridays. Try to be relevant, though, to things that have been brought up that are current in the news cycle. Don't want to hear about your dogs and your flea problems with the pets, you know. But if you have something on your mind that is relevant to the news cycle, that is what we mean by open phones. I kind of call it open phones light. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Back after this.
That you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a Medicare advocate at the touch of a button? You can for less than $1 a day with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will assist you with doctor appointment scheduling, pharmacy issues, billing problems, plan benefits, Medicare applications. They'll even help when you're in the hospital. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Let them be your golden guardians. Contact I Will Advocates right now online at iwilladvocates.com or call them directly, 954-345-1214. No matter where you're located throughout the state of Florida or nationwide, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable, but there is help at the Lighthouse Medical Center. Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-CANE. 1. That's 1-888-GO-CANE.
Yes. All right, 2 minutes after 8, I'm Brian Craig. This is The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years. On the radio, The Steve Kane Show, here in the state of Florida this year. Steve will be back with us on Monday, and I'll be here with you for the next 57 minutes. By the way, don't forget, tomorrow at 11 a.m. on all of our radio stations, Dr. Janae Lemaski, free therapy for you guys. They'd call in. And I know a lot of people in this audience need therapy because I've met many of you, and I've talked to a lot of you on the phone. You get free therapy with Dr. Lemaski from 11 to 12. She has a different call-in number than we have. And then at noon, Al Knight, who just started, I guess, this week 3 or 4 of his solo Saturday show. Catch Al Knight following Dr. Lemaski at noon. And he takes calls too. All right, so welcome back, one and all. So there's just a lot of weirdness going on. So Jen Psaki, who redefined close contact, she also talked to parents. She's going out with a bang here, Jen Psaki. She's got this MSNBC deal. We don't know what her role on MSNBC will be. Will she get a show? Will she just be a pundit? It hasn't been announced yet, but she has made a deal with MSNBC, and I must say it's not unusual for people from the White House with different presidents to make deals to go work in media. This is common, but usually they no longer work at the White House after they've already made the deal. But there was a story I read yesterday in Mediaite that there is an NBC and MSNBC revolt against Jen Psaki joining MSNBC. Yeah, Chuck Todd, who else? The NBC White House correspondent Kristen Welker, and many others do not want Jen Psaki at MSNBC. In fact, they had an emergency meeting with the guy that runs MSNBC with the NBC News staff who were protesting Jen Psaki joining them. And they didn't really say why. They thought it would taint them as a news organization, which is very strange. They've got Nicole Wallace over there, who worked for John McCain. They've got Rachel Maddow. Lawrence O'Donnell, who's on at night on MSNBC, says on the air that he's a proud socialist. So their opposition to Jen Psaki cannot be over politics. Everyone over there is political, right? Mika Brzezinski, who's married to that lowlife Joe Scarborough. Mika Brzezinski is the daughter of Jimmy Carter, President Carter's national security advisor. Joe Scarborough was a member of the House of Representatives. He was a Republican, But I don't know why they don't like Jen Psaki. It didn't say in the story. They said in the Mediaite story they thought it would show that they were partisans. That's absurd. There's something personal that we don't know about Jen Psaki that they are not happy with. I don't know what it is. Maybe she has a deal over there. Maybe they know what her role will be, and it's going to be big, and they're pissed. Like maybe she's going to have a primetime show or something. I don't know, but they had a big uprising at NBC News and MSNBC this week with executives and the staff, including Chuck Todd, do not want Jen Psaki there. Isn't that strange? I know. I mean, could you imagine? McEnany and Dana Perino were both press secretaries, were welcomed with open arms at Fox. McEnany's welcome anywhere. Dana Perino, she's a Bush. I'm not, I don't like Bush people, but McEnany could go into any conservative newsroom in America, sit down and be welcome, right? But Jen Psaki, they don't want that. So I don't know what the deal is. But anyway, Jen Psaki said something which many are considering a threat towards parents. Listen to this. This is Jen Psaki yesterday in the White House press briefing.
Across the country, as we've talked about a bit in here, Republican elected officials are engaging in a disturbing, cynical trend of attacking vulnerable transgender kids for purely partisan political reasons. Today in Alabama, instead of focusing on critical kitchen table issues like the economy, COVID, or addressing the country's mental health crisis, Republican lawmakers are currently debating legislation that, among many things, would target trans youth with tactics that threatens to put pediatricians in prison if they provide medically necessary, life-saving health care for the kids they serve. Just like the extreme government overreach we've seen in Texas, where politicians have sent state officials into the homes of loving parents to investigate them for abuse just to harass and intimidate the LGBTQI plus community, today's vote in Alabama will only serve to harm kids. But Alabama's lawmakers and other legislators who are contemplating these discriminatory bills have been put on notice by the Department of Justice and the Department of Health and Human Services that laws and policies preventing care that healthcare professionals recommend for transgender minors may violate the Constitution and federal law. To be clear, every major medical association agrees that gender-affirming healthcare for transgender kids is a best practice and potentially life-saving. All of this begs an important question. What are these policies actually trying to solve for? LGBTQI plus people can't be erased or forced back into any closets, and kids across our nation should be allowed to be who they are, without the threat that their parents or their doctor could be imprisoned simply for helping them and loving them. President Biden has committed in both words and actions to fight for all Americans and will not hesitate to hold these states accountable.
Okay. So, I know a lot of gobbledygook there being read by Jen Psaki. The Biden administration loved to talk. Nobody eats at the kitchen table anymore, right? Back in the 50s here. Everyone eats in front of the TV now, but, I know I do a lot. Okay. The reason I played this very wordy gobbledygook comment from Jen Psaki. She's got a name that sounds like a stripper. Jen Psaki. Doesn't that sound like a stripper? And I've often said that she is guilty of cultural appropriation. Sake is an Asian adult beverage. Gin is an American one. I guess it's elsewhere too. So she's stealing the Japanese. But anyway, back to this. The thing about the pediatricians, let me tell you, parents out there, never allow your child to be alone with a pediatrician. Never. The Democrats have been using pediatricians to push their agenda. And what Jen Psaki's talking, and it's hard to hear because she's talking so fast and mumbling, pediatricians are going to be able to go around parents when it comes to what they call life-saving transgender procedures and treatments. I don't know what they mean by life-saving. Is it life-saving to give a young boy breast? Is it life-saving to give a girl a penis? What does she mean life-saving? I apologize for the graphic descriptions there, but what is life-saving with a child? Are saving lives of these transgender children regardless of what their parents believe or want to do. Now, my daughter's grown, she's 23, but when she was, seeing a pediatrician, she sees a grown-up doctor now. But when she was little and was seeing the pediatrician, by the way, my daughter never saw a doctor without me or her mother in the room. You don't do that. You always want to have a parent in the room. Do not trust pediatricians. And I know we have doctors in the audience, but some of these doctors are political activists. Okay? And when my daughter was young, this was during the Obama era, and they were using pediatricians to push a different agenda, the gun control agenda. Now they're into this transgender agenda, but transgenderism is the new gun control for the Democrats. And what they were doing back then during the Obama era was using pediatricians during an examination, during a visit with a doctor, a pediatrician. One of the questions that was on the forms for pediatricians to ask children, do your parents have guns at home? And if they say yes, how many? What kind? Remember that? In fact, I was at the doctor. She was a little girl at the time. We were in the exam room waiting for the doctor to come in, and I saw on the back of the door of the doctor, I saw a article taped to the door talking about the vital role of pediatricians and they always want to hide behind children and safety. It was an article about why doctors are helping families and helping children by asking them these questions about guns. I told my daughter right then and there, if a doctor ever asks you if your parents have guns at home, your answer is no. They do not. Now, we're gun owners, okay? I have guns, plural. I've been a gun owner my entire life. I had my first gun when I was 12 years old. For my birthday last year, I got myself a Glock 48, which is an incredible weapon. And I was telling Scott Pressler I might be at the gun show next weekend. And the reason I may go to the gun show is I may go to get the concealed weapon permit course done, because I'm thinking maybe I want to get a concealed weapons permit. The main reason, well, I'm not going to tell you the main reason, but you can wonder. But I'm thinking of going to the gun show, not so much to buy a gun, but to take the concealed weapon permit course and get the concealed weapon. You can get the concealed weapon permit course cheap at the gun show. They do them in mass, right? they'll have like 200 people taking the course, and it's, you know, off in the corner of the auditorium or whatever, and it's cheap. But so they were going. They were trying to use kids, the Democrats, through their pediatrician to find out, get a gun registry going. And now they're pushing this transgender agenda. So if you've got children, I think most parents anyway will not let the doctor be alone with their kid. Why would you do that? You know, they can't make medical decisions. And that goes all the way through high school, by the way. Their kids, they need their mom, they need their dad there. Do not let these liberal activist doctors, get involved in your kid's life. And, for Jen Psaki yesterday to praise these pediatricians and to defend pediatricians to give transgender transition treatment to kids without their parents' knowledge, the doctor cannot give an aspirin, a baby aspirin, to a kid without their knowledge. And this is, even back, we don't hear so much about this so much anymore, and it's not a good thing. Abortion used to be a big issue. And remember, Lila Rose would go around, about, there was a controversy many years ago in Florida and in other states, a parental notification before a child would have an abortion. And the left worked very hard to stop it. And they've had success with that in some places, not in Florida. Parental notification. That wasn't even parental permission, right? Kid can't get their ears pierced without parental permission. They can't get a tattoo without the parents' permission, but they could get abortions. And the bill that the Democrats tried to stop was just parental notification. That means your kids at the Planned Parenthood clinic, you get a call, oh, Sally's here getting an abortion, just notifying you when they hang up. They don't even need your permission. And they were trying to stop that. Democrats are always, see, that's this thing with Disney. They're always trying to get their agenda done through kids. And the reason that is, it's marketing, right? And to take it out of the realm of politics, Coke and Pepsi, right? Whenever Pepsi and Coke have, remember when Michael Jackson's hair caught on fire when he was filming that Coke commercial? They had a new Coke. They had a new Coke. I don't know if it was new Coke or something else, but they had a new Coke product, and they got Michael Jackson to do the promotion for it because he was the hot singer. And I'm sure today, Coke and Pepsi, whatever the hottest singer is today, they're doing marketing for them. The reason that Coke and Pepsi, when they have a new Pepsi product or a new Coke product, get the most popular singer or actor or probably now TikToker to do the promotion for it is because grown-ups, we like regular Coke, we like regular Pepsi. We're not going to be sold on some new Pepsi free, all right, or some Coke Plus. We're not going to drink Coke Plus. We want Coca-Cola. So they market it to young people because they're not set in their ways yet, and they're open to drinking the new type of Pepsi or the new type of Coke. Well, that's a marketing technique, right? Your mind is made up. You're a Coke person, you're a Pepsi person, that's it, and you're only going to drink the classic Coke and regular Pepsi. You're not going to drink something new. Same goes for politics. At your age, if you're listening to this program, you're an adult, your mind is made up on politics and gender norms and all these things. So they market it to young people because they're not set in their ways yet, and they have a chance of marketing their political weirdness to them. All right, we're going to take a quick break. It's 17 minutes after the hour. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll free call. We will take our break and be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Del Rey. Many of you are
Steve Kane Show. Oh, hey, Barry, hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Oh, Mexican Coke is the best. Absolutely.
Is now available at the Biostation West Del Rey. Our custom compounded products yield combinations and dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra and Cialis greatly. We also offer treatments that can correct the problem at its source. such as PRP and sound wave pulse therapies that restore your natural function. State-of-the-art testing and the most current treatment options all available in one place, the BioStation West Delray. If you want to correct your erectile problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires, and when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going for now, man. Everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man. And Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we can save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man.
No, not that. Mexican Coca-Cola.
Stop into Friendly Tire.
Mexican Coca-Cola, Jeff. Not Mexican cocaine.
Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, Tuesday is the big day. That's Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group Living Trust Workshop in Delray. And on the line, we have Attorney Barry Siegel. Barry, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing all right. What do you have for us today, Barry?
Well, yeah, we're just like you said. We're excited about the workshop coming up next Tuesday. We have a few spots left, and we're looking to fill it up. And we'd like to get some people in there who can benefit from the education they'll receive about living trust and protecting the family from the ills of probate and guardianship, and making sure that their beneficiaries are protected from divorces and lawsuits and creditors and assets going to the wrong people.
I like Dr. Pepper, too.
We're going to talk about
any tab lovers?
The language that should be in there that could be the difference between protecting everything you have and losing it all, and many other things, and we'll answer your questions. And people who attend are going to be entitled to a discount certificate. For those who make their appointments, will get a discount certificate when they come. So we do have a few spots left, so if you are interested in attending, I'd suggest you call.
You know, I want to ask you a question, Barry. I'm going to put you on the spot here. I should have probably asked you off the air, but what the heck? It's live radio. What happens, happens. You know, in this age of, you know, Zoom and video calling and everything, can you and the Siegel Law Group help people no matter where they are in the state of Florida, or do they have to be in South Florida?
We do help people all over the state of Florida. You know, we get clients who will physically drive down from Space Coast and Orlando and all that, but we also get people who will do Zoom and phone consultations with us as well, and from time to time we will actually go to different parts of the state.
And you can, and the paperwork and everything, you can just FedEx things to people back and forth, right?
Oh, absolutely. We've done that for a long time, so that absolutely can be done, and people can execute their documents with a notary and two witnesses. So absolutely, this is something that we can help people all over the state. So we're doing work for people in the Naples area, Sarasota, Tampa.
Yeah, so no matter where you are in Florida, from the Panhandle to Key West and everywhere in between, Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group can help you, all right? So give them a call. And also, the workshop on Tuesday, call this number, reserve your spot. It is free, but they ask that you make a reservation so they know how much space they need. And they'll also give you detailed directions to the workshop in Delray Tuesday when you call. Here's the number, toll-free, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk next week.
All right, have a great
All right, take care, take care. All right, let's go to the phones. 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is the number. 888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Hey, Richie the bus driver. What's up?
Yeah, I hope you have a real good weekend, by the way. And you brought up the mutilation and everything. Laura Berber, I think her name is, the Congresswoman.
I don't know. Who?
I think her name is the new one with the glasses they accused at January.
Oh, Lauren Boebert. Lauren Boebert? Yeah.
She was on last night on TV. She was, and she was interviewed, and she says, "This is ridiculous that Becerra, that head of HN, of the, I don't know what his title is, but you know who Becerra is?"
Yeah, you're not thinking too clearly today, because you're talking about people and things, and you can't. Are you okay? I'm bad with names, but now it's hard. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Lauren Boebert, and then something else.
Yeah, she got into with him. She had in Congress. She interviewed him, and he thinks that basically it's okay for the government to go in behind parents' back and do these operations on the children.
Well, I'll tell you something. Many years ago, Steve Kane and I were at a Broward County Commission meeting, and there was some gay rights ordinance was being debated by the county. I don't remember what it was. And the Reverend D. James Kennedy was there. And a lot of you may not remember D. James Kennedy or may not be familiar with him, but he was a national figure. And he was sadly, he passed away many years ago, and his church has had problems since. But he was a very strong pro-family person who was always talking about the dangers of the gay rights agenda. And here we are in 2022. Everything he predicted came true. But I saw him speak at the Broward County Commission, Reverend D. James Kennedy, and he had a petition that was signed by residents of Broward County opposed to this, and it was a large number of people. And the liberals, most of them were gay, were yelling at him a very common phrase of the left. The masses, and this is what they said, they were yelling it at D. James Kennedy, the masses are asses. And that was a very, I was so glad I experienced that, because I realized, I was still young at the time, I realized Democrats, they think they know what's best. Screw the majority, screw the parents. You may be the majority, but you're asses. They know what's best for you and your kids and everyone else. And that's how they think on everything.
Really fast here. In 1991 and 92, I went with a girlfriend at the time with her two girls. She had two girls. One was 5 and 8. I'll never forget it. It was the first Saturday of June in Disney World. And we walked in and we saw signs up. Walt Disney World does not sponsor this demonstration. It was the second year of Gay Rights Day.
Oh, gay days at Disney. Now every day's gay day at Disney. They used to do this thing. They used to do this thing called Gay Days at Disney, where the gays would take over, and our old friend who was a radio talk show host here, one of the great radio talk show hosts, Al Rantel, who was gay. He went to Gay Days. And he said that they had, I can't say one of them, but I'll give you a hint. The gays would rename the theme parks for Gay Days. The Magic Kingdom was referred to as the Magic Condom. And Epcot, with a T Center, was renamed something where the last letter is K that sounds close to that. You can figure out what that is. Yeah.
T-shirts with those kind of sayings on the T-shirts.
Yeah, and I remember I got a call from a grandfather who had just come back from Gay Days at Disney. He took his grandkids with his wife, Grandma and Grandpa, took the grandkids up to Disney. They did not know it was Gay Days until they got there, and they left because all these guys were walking around in cut-off jean shorts making out, and they just didn't want their grandkids to see that.
You're a talk show host, okay? That's the only reason you're bringing this up. Okay, the fact of the matter is, and I want people to listen to what I'm going to say, because it's going to hit them at home.
Watch.
Regular people that are not gay wake up every morning and they don't think about their sexuality. That's the last thing on their mind. But if you're gay or whatever you are, that's your whole life. You wake up in the morning and that's all you think about, that I'm gay. The whole life revolves around their sexual orientation, and it's sick, and it's got to stop. And not all gays are the same, by the way. I had a gay friend down the street in Hollywood that he was an older man, and he said, "Listen, I don't believe in gay marriage. I believe in civil unions." Because when you, in the eyes, I'm going to say this as not a religious man, but in the eyes of God, it's always been between a man and a woman. And every time we open the envelope and let him give a little more to people,
well, it's what I was talking about earlier. Okay, I was talking about this earlier in the week, and I started thinking about this. Ralph Reed was at the Trump rally, either in Georgia or Michigan. I can't remember which one. You guys remember Ralph Reed with the Christian Coalition? He was around in the 90s, and President Trump did a shout out to Ralph Reed at either Georgia or Michigan's rally. I can't remember which. And I'd forgotten about Ralph Reed, and my wife and I, we were talking, and Ralph Reed was he was a spokesperson for the Christian Coalition, and was talking about if the gay agenda is successful in the future, and he would list all these crazy things that would be in the future. Everything Ralph Reed and D. James Kennedy and all the rest predicted would happen in the 80s and 90s has come true, and we've gone beyond that. It's crazy.
It is, and that's the biggest.
This Ketanji on the Supreme Court. I get so upset when people say, "Well, the balance of the court is the same." I'm sorry. This court is way out of balance when you have someone that is soft on child pornographers on the Supreme Court for the rest of her. She's going to be there for 30 or 40 years. That takes us closer to no morals at all in our society.
The problem is the government is in our bedroom 24/7 now. They pass these laws to make everybody equal, and they're out there. They twist society. I always believe in majority rules.
Well, I had a friend. I had a friend who many years ago did he was a radio guy, and he did a radio show from Walt Disney World, a live remote on his morning show from Walt Disney World. At the radio, they have like a radio facility there, and they had a monitor, and it was a kind of an outrageous show, and they had a monitor there and if they did anything, they'd cut them off the air or talk to them during the break. And he made a joke about an ear of corn that it looked like something else without saying it, and they cut him off the air live. Because that was around 92-3, between 92 and 94. Now they have they had standards and practices. They had morality. They don't have that anymore. None. Everything is allowed except being MAGA. Do you know that there was a man who was banned for life from Walt Disney World? They have this ride called Splash Mountain where you go down it's a log flume ride. This man, he's on the boat going down the log flume ride, and as he goes down, he whips out a MAGA flag, and he was holding the MAGA flag as it went down the waterfall. He has been banned for life from Walt Disney World. Meanwhile, they got this transgendered crap going on now, right? They're,
They won't ban two men going down Main Street kissing each other like they were in the bedroom. And that's what they...
Yeah, I'm glad I almost had to dump you until you added down Main Street together, because when you said that first thing, I was like, what is he talking about? All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Calling from Broward.
Okay. What's on your mind?
That's the thing, Brian. The first thing is that you keep referring to that Black Lives Matter is a black organization that is basically ran by black. But when you're doing the right with Antifa and Black Lives Matter, all you see on the news were mostly white people and masses doing all right.
Yeah.
The second point is that how do you not know that Donald Trump signed the H.R. 1242 bill commemorating the 400 years that African Americans were over in America?
I'm having a hard time understanding you. You're mumbling. President Trump signed what for African Americans? Speak up.
H.R. Bill 1242 commemorating the 400 years of African American history.
Who's against African American history being recognized? Who's against that?
Oh, nobody's against it. It's the 400 years that
400 years. How old is America? How old is the United States?
Well, according to 17.
No. How old is the United States?
According to what you're trying to say, to verify your question, the country wasn't established for freedom from Britain until 17.
Correct.
76. But the first slave was sold in Jamestown in 1619. That's where the 400 years.
Yeah, but that wasn't the United States.
It was the colonization. I was informed.
It was not us. No, we rebelled against that. Do you ever watch Schoolhouse Rock? No more kings. Now, let me ask you, is Black Lives Matter, is it a civil rights organization, a money laundering organization, or a real estate empire? A, B, or C? What is Black Lives Matter?
I'm going to say it's a money laundering organization.
A money laundering organization, yeah. Yeah.
No, well, it was not meant for the black community because when you read the...
It's a fake group. Black Lives Matter paid $5.8 million for an LA mansion, and this is only one of their properties. Why is this becoming a place for people to buy mansions as opposed to help saving the lives of people?
According to that, what you're saying, Brian, why is a lot of non-profit organizations doing that? Because not just only Black Lives Matter doing that, a lot of other companies are doing that. So if you...
Black Lives Matter. Oh, okay. What other non-profit foundations that are claiming to be civil rights organizations are buying multiple mansions worth millions of dollars each? Can you name that organization? We know Black Lives Matter.
Me and you both don't know unless we...
No. You say that other organizations are doing this. Give me a name. Well, give me the name.
Well, you give me some names.
No. You're saying that other groups are... Black Lives Matter is doing what the other ones do. I want to know the names of the other... Well, maybe because they're not doing it because it's criminal.
No. Now you're speculating, Brian.
No, I'm not speculating. Black Lives Matter paid $5.8 million for an LA mansion in Southern California.
Organization hasn't done it too.
Well, name one. Well, if you don't know any, how do you know they're doing it? All right, we'll be right back.
Brian Craig, I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires, and when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going around, man. Everything you said it was going to be.
Buy larger mansions. Oh, Blue Crow, that's brilliant. I want to do that.
Well, what's your name?
That's hilarious.
Hey,
Buy larger mansions. Oh my goodness.
On tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to the Steve Kane Show.
Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's Free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Oh, sorry guys, my throat's getting dry with this talking. All right, Steve will be back with us on Monday. An announcement to make, my podcast, the Brian Craig Show podcast, which is a show I do separate and apart from the Steve Kane Show. This year is the 10th year of the Brian Craig Show podcast that I co-host with my wife, Kathy. And, you know, the Brian Craig Show podcast, you've often heard me say, has been named the number 3 must-listen-to conservative podcast in America. Number 1, number 1 is Mark Levin. Number 2, Glenn Beck's The Blaze. And number 3, the number 3 must-listen-to conservative podcast in America is the Brian Craig Show podcast. As of this week, the Brian Craig Show podcast is now available on all podcast platforms, large and small, including Spotify, and get this one. This is crazy. This is crazy. Now again, after 10 years, we're finally getting the recognition. The Brian Craig Show podcast is on all podcast platforms, large and small, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast. Spotify's brand new this week, and also Audible, where you get, you know, the books on tape. So now we're like in the realm of credibility now, right? I mean, that's actually, even on Audible, you can catch my podcast now, and on my YouTube channel, and on my other content. But that's a big deal after 10 years to get that recognition. So if you don't already follow my podcast, follow it on wherever you get your podcast. You will enjoy the show, I promise you. And very good show, the Brian Craig Show podcast. It is, if I say so myself. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Now, here we go, people. Once, twice. All right, there you go. There's the Democrat response, people. Oh, oh my goodness. Okay, I learned, you know, this show, the Steve Kane Show, the longest running radio show in Florida, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year. This show's on 3 hours a day from 6 till 9 a.m. I've actually just recently learned that not everyone who listens to this program listens to all 3 hours of it. So I know, can you believe it? And I started at 6 a.m. with something that I'm going to replay here in just a bit. I started the show at 6 a.m. with this exchange with CNN's Brian Stelter, and I'm going to play it again because some people told me they missed it. Listen, this show starts at 6 a.m. Set your alarm clock for 5:55. You got time to get up and turn the radio on at 6 so you're in place when it begins. But I'll play that again because it's very good. And before the end of the show. You're on the air. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from?
This is JJ from Mass.
All right, JJ, what's up?
Well, I was just been listening during the course of the week. Today, first of all, that gentleman, I think
Scott Pressler.
Been going around registering many types of heroes. That guy, that's I just loved hearing that. That's inspiring.
He's very famous. I know a lot of you know who Scott Pressler is. He travels America, sleeping on people's couches, just registering people to vote. That's what he does. And you know, he's been recognized by Dinesh D'Souza. He was in one of Dinesh D'Souza's movies. Dinesh D'Souza dedicated an entire segment of one of his movies to Scott Pressler. He's amazing. He's the real deal. He's like Trump.
And then right after that, you had a gentleman on, I think he said he graduated in 81, and it's nice to hear a normal person. That guy was so normal, it was almost scary compared to the Louisiana caller.
Oh yeah.
And calling in the show, that guy, I swear to God, I hear him and I just want to jump through the TV and just
Yeah.
But in regard to Disney, this woman, I think if those kids haven't gone through puberty yet and all that stuff, I don't know how old the kids are, but I'd be fascinated to know. That to me is it's almost borderline child abuse.
Well, the Disney president, she has 2 kids. One's transgendered, and the other one is something called pansexual, which means attracted to everything, everybody, no matter. And what you're dealing with her, and I'm not opposed to. I'm not transgender, pansexual, gay, lesbian. People should be able to live their life. I'm conservative. I don't, come on. And as a Christian, I'm not judging these people. They're all God's children. But what she's, well, let me finish. Let me finish. What this woman here, what she's dealing with is she's not comfortable with the way her kids have turned out. She's not happy with it. So what she's trying to do to feel good that she's a good woman and a good mother and I'll agree she's a mother if you get my drift, but to feel that she's a good mom and all of this, she wants everyone's kid to be transgendered and pansexual, so she feels like she did a good job. She's got problems, and she's pushing it on our children through her role as president of Disney.
Yeah, she's doing it, the 1619 Project, the real estate company, BLM, I heard you talking about that's insane what they've done.
Someone in the chat room on YouTube during the break said BLM stands for Buy Larger Mansions. I like that. I wish I'd have thought of that. That's a good one, yeah.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Needs a conception.
Yeah. Well, I don't have time to tell you anything because I got a break. But thanks for the call, man. Take care. We're going to take our last break of the day, come back with William Youngerman with the last look at the gold and precious metals for the week. Don't go anywhere.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable, but there is help at the Lighthouse Medical Center. Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Hi, Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell you about her experience with the My Pillow mattress topper.
Well, as you know, Brian, I was waking up in pain every morning for years and years, and we had bought a new mattress not that long ago.
I'm gonna play the Stelter audio after the gold report. I've gotten messages from people that missed the beginning of the show. So.
I tell you, after sleeping on it just one night, I woke up, no pain. I felt incredible. It made a huge, huge difference for me. And the pain
this shirt,
not returned.
this shirt, Sarah gave me this shirt, and this is a Trump shirt from when the Beast was the pace car at the Daytona 500.
Use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. And this is an incredible deal because with the promo code KANE, you will save 30% off the My Pillow mattress topper and 2 free My Pillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. It comes in every size too, from twin all the way up to California King. That's promo code KANE, KANE at mypillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for double.
All right, we are back. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year. Steve will be back with us on Monday. It's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated right here in Boca with the last look at the gold and precious metals for the week. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking?
Metals looking pretty good, Brian. The metals have held very nice. The support range of up around 1920 for gold and in that 24th area for silver. The markets yesterday trading in a range of $1,920 to $1,938 and closed up $5.90 at $1,931.20 on gold. Silver was up 14 cents at $24.58 the ounce, while platinum closed up $9 at $9.61, and palladium was up $29 at $2,156. Overnight, the gold traded in a range of $1,927 to $1,940 so far, and right now it's at $19.31. That's down 20 cents. Silver is down 18 cents right now at $24.40 after being up as high as $24.82 this morning. Platinum up $11 at $9.72, and palladium, the big winner, up $181 so far at $2,337 the ounce. That's pretty much.
Now, most of the week we've been talking a lot about silver because you've been telling us about supply shortages. How are things looking on the supply of gold bullion?
Gold is available in most of the products, and we have it all in stock. That's been holding up very well. A lot of the manufacturers of some of the products have been focusing on manufacturing more gold products than getting out the silver products. According to some of the sources, they say they figure they make more money on the gold. I don't know whether that's true or not, but I think really the shortages in the planchets that they use for striking the silver eagles and this and that just seems to be a huge shortage of some of this stuff. So
now if people that are interested in picking up gold and silver today, are there any particular gold and silver products that you're recommending right now during this time of scarcity that people should be loading up on?
The product, one of the products we have coming in right now that's going to be interesting is a silver coin, 1 ounce silver coin that's got Noah's Ark on it, which is an interesting feature, and that's being struck by the Armenian Mint. And so we're going to have a few thousand of those. And
wow.
You'd be able to get some of those coins, kind of different. And we do still have silver eagles in stock, which is very few companies do, and of course all the other products too.
Yeah, there's no Ark. You know what? There's no Ark coins. Those sound like great gifts for the kids and grandkids for Easter, right? Right around the corner. All right, now William Youngerman, located right here in Boca. They open up weekdays at 10. Located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. Find them online at williamyoungerman.com or give them a call. They open up at 10 a.m. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we will talk on Monday.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, take care. All right, let me squeeze a call or two in, and then we'll get to the Brian Stelter. Good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Carol Wilson. I'm calling from Boca Raton, Florida.
Carol in Boca, yes.
Street Lord, Opal Tomei, and I forgot the other Marxist name. They took the Street Lord bought 3 houses, I believe, over $1 million in California. Then she's also building one in the Bahamas. So I found that interesting.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what's going on here with Black Lives Matter. Okay, we're finding out it's a lot like the PTL Club with Jim Baker, or who's that creepy pastor out in Texas? The guy with the big smile with the wife that got into the fight on the airplane years ago. You know, it's corrupt. Black Lives Matter is corrupt, like some of these mega churches. They do, and it's a yeah. That's right.
Tearing down our statues because they don't want anybody to know what they're really all about, including my own son, so I have to give him history lessons now. And I never use Google. I always use Bing, and then I use DuckDuckGo, Neva, Neeva, as an app, and I also use something called Brave. And that's the only way you can find out things today.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, listen, I'm running short on time, but thanks for the call. Yeah, Black Lives Matter has really been exposed as a very, very corrupt organization. So let me get to this, okay? I started the show with this. I'm going to end the show with this. This is beautiful stuff. CNN's Brian Stelter, no one likes Brian Stelter. He's just a creep. He's at this panel that was put together by Axelrod from the Obama regime in Chicago with college students. I think it was the University of Chicago. And a University of Chicago freshman, that means an 18-year-old kid, a college freshman, got up and just humiliated Brian Stelter, and it's beautiful to listen to. Listen to this.
Hi, thank you for coming. My name is Christopher Phillips. I'm a first year at the college. My question's for Mr. Stelter. You've all spoken extensively about Fox News being a purveyor of disinformation, but CNN is right up there with them. They push the Russian collusion hoax. They push the Jussie Smollett hoax. They smeared Justice Kavanaugh as a rapist, and they also smeared Nick Sandmann as a white supremacist. And yes, they dismissed the Hunter Biden laptop affair as pure Russian disinformation. With mainstream corporate journalists becoming little more than apologists and cheerleaders for the regime, is it time to finally declare that the canon of journalistic ethics is dead or no longer operative? All the mistakes of the mainstream media, and CNN in particular, seem to magically all go in one direction. Are we expected to believe that this is all just some sort of random coincidence, or is there something else behind it?
It's too bad. It's time for lunch.
Now, isn't it always time for lunch if you're Brian Stelter, right? Lunch is like a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week thing with this guy.
You have 30 seconds. No, I mean, there's a clock that says 30 seconds. But I think my honest answer to you, and I'll come...
See, now this is here, my honest answer. You know, whenever you're talking to someone and they say, my honest answer is, they're about to lie to you. To tell you the truth, that also means they're about to lie to you.
I mean, there's a clock that says 30 seconds. But I think my honest answer to you, and I'll come over and talk in more detail after this, is that I think you're describing a different channel than the one that I watch.
See, now this thing where he said, I'll come up and talk to you after, he wants to get this kid's information so he can put him on the list of people to cancel. That's what that's about. Brian Stelter, I have heard people say, has gotten people banned from Twitter. Okay, he's called up like Dorsey himself to do it.
Is it all just some sort of random coincidence, or is there something else behind it?
It's too bad. It's time for lunch.
You have 30 seconds.
No, I mean, there's a clock that says 30 seconds. But I think my honest answer to you, and I'll come over and talk in more detail after this, is that I think you're describing a different channel than the one that I watch. But I understand that is a popular right-wing narrative about CNN. I think it's important, when we talk about shared reality and democracy, all these networks, all these news outlets have to defend democracy. And when they screw up, admit it. But when Benjamin Hall, the Fox correspondent, was wounded in Ukraine, the news crews at CNN and the New York Times stopped what they were doing, and they tried to help. They tried to help him get out of the country. They tried to find the dead crew members. That's what news outlets do. That's how they actually do work together, to your question about sharing those kinds of connections and trust. We don't talk about it enough, though. We don't share that reality about how that happens. And with regards to the regime, I think you mean the President Biden. The last time I spoke with a Biden aide, we yelled at each other. So that's the reality of the news business that people don't see, that people don't hear. They imagine that it's a situation that simply is not. But I think your question, it speaks to the failure of journalism to show our work and show the reality of how our profession operates. We have a lot of work to do, I think.
Okay. Now, notice he didn't address any of the slanders put out by CNN as news that have never been retracted, right, that the kid brought up. But the reason I share that today, and I started the show with it and we're ending with it, but the reason I share that today is not about Brian Stelter. It's about the college kid. This is a college freshman at the University of Chicago. So, I mean, you got a liberal place, a liberal city, a liberal university, and a kid at a liberal institution who sees the world clearly. And the Democrats have lost a huge chunk of the gay vote, the black vote, but they've lost even larger numbers of the youth. It used to be to hear a college freshman talking like that, it was like unheard of at a liberal university. And you notice when he asked those questions, he wasn't booed, and you heard he's got support from they've lost the youth, the Democrats, and they're not getting it back. And they've lost the youth mainly because of Donald Trump and the MAGA movement. That's something that really panics the left. They're terrified at that. That scares the hell out of them. And let me tell you, if Brian Stelter ever comes up to you and wants your personal information, do not give it to him. Do not give it to him. Nothing good will come of it. Well, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steve will be back on Monday. Over the weekends, real quick, then I'll end. Over the weekends, on Saturday and Sunday mornings, I do live streams on YouTube from my studio at home, and I take live calls on my YouTube videos over the weekend. So find me on YouTube, Brian Craig on YouTube. Make sure you follow me there and catch Saturday and Sunday my live streams, which are much different than I do here. Actually, I did one on Wednesday if you want to check it out. But to see what I do, you'll enjoy it, and I'll see you there, all right? Everyone, have a great weekend. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. We'll see you Monday morning live at 6 a.m. Take care.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all.
Well, everyone, thanks for joining me. If you're new, subscribe. Everyone, don't leave without liking the video. Click that notification bell.
Symptoms 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida, FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, guys, take care. I'll see you soon. Don't